Hello. Welcome to Requiem for a Modman. Sitting cozy by the fire. No, I'm not gonna do this. Yeah, this is gonna be the post-release stream for 8.0. We're gonna answer some questions. We're gonna talk about the development. And we're gonna look back at old versions while we do that. Starting off, I think, on the development version of the Horse Lords,
It is. We've gone
uh,
back to 2016,
2016.
in the good old days, pre-COVID, pre-Age of the Ring.
Yeah. After that, we're gonna go to 2.0, right?
3.0. We're gonna look at
3.0, then we're
3.0.
gonna
Yeah.
look at 3.0, yeah, and then
Yeah.
we're gonna look at 8.0.
Yeah.
We just keep looking at LotR, at least for now, because that
Mhm.
changed
The
so
main
much.
focus, because that's yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Our through line.
Through line, that's it. That's it.
So yeah,
Yeah, just gonna be doing that.
answering questions
Um,
along the way.
my voice is apparently a little bit low.
Low.
Yes,
I can
as
just
in
I'll
pitch
boost.
or volume.
Yeah, because I'll boost it up here. Here, keep talking, Matthias, really quick.
Oh, I'm talking
Okay.
really quick.
The voices should be about the same. My settings haven't changed.
Okay,
I don't know.
good.
I boosted up the volume a little bit though. Hopefully it's still in balance. Hopefully my voice isn't overwhelming anyone else's or anything like that. Just let us know what we're going through. Yeah, holy shit! Look at this fortress. Here we go. Okay,
Look
yeah,
at this beauty.
yeah. I want to react. So this was this wasn't mine. I think this was the edit that you ended up making to mine. To the
Those
flat.
flats don't look like they are yours. That looks like
No.
something that I either made or edited off of what you did. I'm not
Yeah.
sure if you had flats, because I
I
remember
did.
we
I
had
had like circles. I had circle flats because I didn't know how the design actually looked.
right.
We
Well,
really
apparently
didn't
neither did
know.
I, because it
We
doesn't
didn't
look
really
like
know
that.
either. No. Oh my god, that bug.
They offer bows.
Oh my god, I remember that bug. Oh, Jesus Christ.
What bug?
Where all the voices would play. I don't know. You probably don't have that bug.
Yeah,
Oh,
we
yeah,
just
yeah.
had to like triple Lorien Archer salute lines for the
Whenever, yeah, yeah, Arrow Tower archers or anything would spawn, they would like play their voice lines. They're recruited. Yeah, that was
Is
fun.
that the end? We had the end for quite a while, from what I remember.
Yeah, we did. I
Yeah.
don't think we removed it until 7.0, I want to say.
The new, yeah, with the new fortress.
I guess.
And
That's
then,
when we added the
and then we replaced with the Axels.
Yep. God, look at that. Fucking stupid.
So we're well before the days of upgradable Malorn trees.
Fucking just static Ent, just sitting inside of a pool,
Vibing.
just vibing.
Photosynthesizing.
Oh well.
God, it's so long ago.
God, look at this. Yeah, this was before we even added in the original barracks, because this is the BFME1 barracks.
I did have the barracks made at this point. I know I
Rear
made
renders.
it, but we just never put it in. I think we may have never even put that one in, because as soon as I made it, I kind of hate this, and I just made another one.
Yeah.
This is really like chunky looking tree. It's like I think I may have had a ground element or something to it. I don't know. Designing elf stuff has always been a nightmare. Oh god. Yeah.
Yeah, and these models never saw a release either, because these got replaced as soon as we released Lorien in 2.0.
Yeah.
So what's the story behind the Horse Lords? How did that first come about,
Bruh.
Yeah, your turn, Arun.
Mr. Ryder?
Mr. Ryder of Rohan.
I was bored and I wanted to put Rohan in the game. That's literally it.
Porcupine!
And I did everything except make Rohan things.
The first
Literally
release was
everything.
Gondor, Mordor, Isengard, and Misty Mountains.
Because in the early version, I did have some stuff, mixed stuff, and Matthias ended up helping me with the Rohan Spearman and some reskins. And then I lost that version. I had to redo everything, and I decided to do it on 202 because it was to me the most balanced patch at the time. I think it still kind of is going from BFME2 to Rise of the Witch King anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was Rohan, and then we ended up not doing Rohan anyway.
So you're saying that this whole Age of the Ring team thing that resulted in this magnificent mod started with me donating some models to you?
Yes.
Oh, look at these
Whoops.
donations.
Well.
These
Wow.
Hey, look.
puts 8.0 out to shame.
I know, yeah, God, look at these. These are absolutely perfect.
Sindarin Majesty.
There is work to be done.
They don't have a face.
What's wrong with your face?
Oh, do they have a face? Is it just like on the side of their head?
Yeah.
They have two faces.
Ah,
They're
yes.
two-faced.
Very advanced, very evolved.
Oh, part of their face is on, yeah.
They're a prey animal because they can see to the side.
So I think this was in like when we were like, because you started out in like what 2014, I think 2013, 2014 thereabouts, Arun.
Yeah, about then.
I remember making those Rohan Spearmen on my mom's old gray box laptop, because I had just moved back in because I failed at university. I just moved back to my parents' house. At about that time, yeah. And my laptop was dead, and I was it was just fucking miserable. And I was like, I guess I'll do some more modeling or something. And you
Are
were
you
just
winning,
starting
son?
Exactly.
Are you winning, son?
It's at the kitchen table as well. It was like at the kitchen table. Yeah. Installing all like 30s Max 8 on my mom's laptop. And I remember Arun was making these threads on Revora learning stuff. And I remembered when I was making threads on Revora learning stuff, someone contacted me and said, hey, if you ever need some help or you want to talk about how to model stuff, let me know. And that really helped me. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to contact him and I'll tell him, hey, I can help you with some models. If you want to talk about how to model, you can always ask me. Not that I knew a whole lot at the time myself, I learned a lot since then, but I was like, let's just do that. So I made him some Rohan models. I remember that. They weren't that good. I'll be honest. I kind of rushed them because this is not for me. This is for someone else. So I just be like, it's good enough. It's good enough. They're pretty nice.
Bro, to me, it was like the most amazing thing ever.
I remember when you sent me those Dunedain, and then that really hyper focused me into modding. When I finally got you to send me some Dunedain models after asking you for a year. Asking you and then waiting a year, and then asking you again, waiting a whole year to see if you would send it to me because I didn't want to bother you.
Didn't I PM you back like, hey man, stop bothering me?
No, not to me.
I think
that was to Arun.
That was you?
To Arun.
Yeah.
Yes. No, because I never bothered you. All I wanted to do was I just made maps. I made maps for Shadow and Flame. I wanted a map because I wanted to see the cool stuff before anyone else could. So I made content so that I could.
There you go.
So that I could contribute.
That's how you do it.
That's how you do it.
And then my Gundabad map you loved out of nowhere, and I'm like, oh, well, cool.
Well, it was really good. So yeah, of course.
And then Shadow and Flame.
It was really good.
And then Shadow and Flame happened, and then and all that.
That's how I started too. Because I just wanted to know what the fuck was happening at Ravanion Alliance.
Yeah.
I wanted to get in that sub forum that they had. I wanted to see all that stuff. I wanted to read the plans. I wanted to see all. I was massively disappointed when I actually did get in because they had no real release yet. I thought I was going to be able to play this.
Yes.
There was barely anything. It's like, oh fuck.
Imagine my disappointment when I finally able to join the chamber server or whatever in Revora. And I just see oh man, look at all these faction plans that are now just dead. They never happened. Yeah. Just vaporware, yeah, which is a shame.
Mm-hmm.
That was Ravani Alliance quite a bit.
Just complaining about different forum members.
Yep. Oh yeah, the third H chamber. Oh god, yeah.
Dane Ironfoot. That was him.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember seeing those.
I think we're talking about two different things. You're talking about the Ravanian Alliance thing, but you said the chamber, and the third H chamber was this admin channel that you were in there too, weren't you, Alex?
Yeah, I was. I made it in there late.
That was like a badge of honor. Getting in there.
That chamber. I know. I don't know. I just called it. Okay, I know what you're talking about then. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. I know what thread. Yes. The problem people.
Yes.
Problem
The problem
Yes. Oh my God. Neuron activated. Holy
people. The
shit.
problem people. I don't even remember.
Holy shit, the
It might have
problem
been
people.
Radsmacker who even started it too. Like started the whole thread. I can't remember.
Yeah, where we just discussed problematic people on the forum.
Yes.
Problematic.
Yeah.
Problematic.
Yeah.
And like, what are we gonna do about it? Well, are you gonna send him a message? Well, I might.
Oh well, I might.
Yeah.
Some high school
that's,
bullshit there.
That's so funny. Yeah,
And
I
then I
mean, we
think
were.
that's
I think a lot of us were literally in high school. Like me, younger. Yeah, I was in middle school.
Yeah.
by
No,
that
I was
time.
like, when I got in there, I was like 17. So yeah, high school. Yeah. Yeah, 16, 17 years old. Yeah. 33 now.
It's
Look at
primary school,
Celeborn.
but
Is this
It's a
is it,
child.
was this HD edition Celeborn? This was HD edition, right?
We must rid ourselves.
Because Vanilla's
How
texture was
is-
completely
isn't
fucked
it?
up.
Caliborn isn't in BFME 2, so no.
That's vanilla.
That's vanilla, yeah.
Oh
You
my
can
God.
probably. I mean, is it remapped? Because vanilla
It
has
is
like a
remapped,
weird stripe on it.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
mapped it poorly.
How old is one? He's beat for me too. HD edition, isn't he?
No.
This one.
No,
This is a new one.
no,
That's
this is
Shadow and
different.
Flame.
No, this is just my first attempt at a hell tier.
Okay, because it's using Shadow and Flame parts.
Yes, it's using HD edition parts, different head,
Mm.
and
Right.
yeah, mix of stuff.
Okay, so to continue
So-
the history,
Yeah,
were working with me on Shadow and Flame, which is a BFME mod, BFME 1 mod that I was
BFME
working
mod.
on. I'd been working on extensively for years.
Which was
and
Echoes
it was
before
leaving
that,
me
yeah.
every time, but we're not going to trauma dump again.
it was Echoes
Um,
before that. Yeah,
Yeah.
Visions.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's too ancient. That's not related to Age of the Ring anymore.
Okay.
So
It's just vanilla.
then we sort of roped Arun into coding some stuff for us because you didn't want to do that anymore.
Nope.
And then we had, which I
Oh.
won't go into detail on, we had a
Yeah.
massive falling out.
Yes,
For
we did.
about something relatively
A
petty.
few months. Yeah.
A few months. It was like we
just
were very,
burned out.
very angry.
Because we were burned out. Yeah. It was
Yeah.
Lots of mix of burnout. Lots
Um,
of just dumb
And then
stuff.
Arun just kept chugging, away at
Horse Lords.
the Horse Lords mod, and I was like, well, some of the models these guys are doing are not that good, and they could probably be better. So I'm just gonna.
You were right.
I want
You
to.
were right.
I guess I want to contribute again, and then I just started contributing again, and then
And eventually,
it kept growing for like a year, and then we eventually, finally managed to convince Arun to change the name.
Bro, you all
Because-
had me in a Skype call and everything, bro.
Yeah,
You all
we're like-
had-
there's like a
you all
sit
had
down.
it-
It's like we don't have
Yeah,
Rohan yet, man. We gotta have like a big This is gonna be big. We want to do something big. Come on, it's gotta be big.
Yeah,
I'm
you
like-
came up with the name.
I did.
Age of the Ring.
I don't know where it came from, but I
think you
thought I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I came up with Age of the Ring. I just just thinking about it,
Perfect
that's,
name.
that's what we wanted to cover.
Perfect name.
Because we wanted to cover The Hobbit, and we wanted to cover The War of the Ring. Those are the main two things, and that was like the
Yeah.
main age, because otherwise the ring is dormant through all the rest of the Third Age. So,
Oh my god, those old models! Look at that.
Look at these guys.
I know. Yeah. Look at these.
Could take a quick look at Gondor as
Wow.
well. Little detour. On
Sure,
the way to
yeah,
3.2.
sure.
Yeah. When we get to 3.0. Because I think that, that art was in until... When did we change the Gondorian art? Because it's been through multiple.
4.2?
Was it 4.0 at that point it changed? Okay.
It was
To the
around
modern
that
one?
time, yeah. Yeah,
I remember-
Matthias went on a tear through them. He went on he did Urukai first for Isengard, and then it was around that time that he went through all the Gondor stuff as well.
Yeah, that was just a result of Arun just like constantly nagging me about it. But literally, like he would just send me messages. Anorians, because they were called Anorians at the time, like the Anorian soldiers.
Thank you, Flame. Yeah, 4.2.
Yeah. When new Anorians? When new this? When new Anorians? Come on. And I was like, no, I'm not gonna do new ones. The ones we have are fine. And
I wake up and it's like the first thing I would message him in the morning. Like he's the first.
Oh my god.
oh yeah, it was a campaign. It was a campaign.
Yeah, I joined
I'm
him
really good.
multiple times.
I'm really
yeah.
good at propaganda, bro.
Yeah, Arun convinced me many times to join in like some of those. Yeah, the Men of Dale push of us trying to get the Men of Dale back because you lost the model.
Yeah, I've lost a few models over the years.
There's been we've all lost quite a few.
Hey,
Rip old
I
Kieran.
mean, hey, here at the end
Yeah.
at the release,
Pushed
I
it back for
lost
years.
models.
yeah. I did push him back for quite a few years, actually.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. And then I ended up making the new ones that we have now. Yeah, I made quite a number of Gondorians
God.
in my time.
Old ring hero.
I had a
right
few
here.
of them, like 6 generations thereabouts. Like a lot
Yeah.
of them.
So I mean, so looking at this is very bare bones.
Yep.
But this is kind of what you start with. So when you're starting a faction for Age of the Ring or for any mod, you can start with a skeleton of a faction, and it's a lot. I mean, see all these things have since been replaced.
Yeah.
Everything on the screen, yeah.
Yeah,
Except for
this,
the
is,
Entmoot.
this, is, this is
literally
a
everything.
lesson. Yeah. For
Except
sure.
except for the Entmoot. The only thing, yeah, except for the Entmoot here. Everything in
And
LotR
Moot
has been
and
replaced.
Tribute, yeah, literally.
Yeah, and the Ents. That's it.
Oh, someone asked, does everybody now have permission to use the models of Age of the Ring? Yes, but not everything. Like there's no
Team up, sheriffs.
guess, what's the English carte blanche? I guess that's French. There's a couple of rules related to using them. They are in our change log if you wanna read that.
Yeah.
It's under the concerning assets header. Well, by and large, the answer to that is yes, but you do need to read up on the specifics. Because some of the things we don't own, some of the things some artists don't want you to use, always give credit and all that stuff. It's all detailed in there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's the ring.
Yeah, it's a whole spreadsheet, all very nicely organized. So yeah, it's got instructions and everything, so it's easy enough to use.
Oh god, old
Oh
gold.
god, look at this. Oh jeez. Okay, so this is Horse Wars Gondor. So yeah, this was released. This was first released.
This was, yeah.
Oh,
so this
man.
is Horse Lords 6.6 or 3.3, whatever it was. Around August 2016, first release,
Ooh.
and then transition to Age of the Ring happened in about December 2016, I think. But yeah, this was its state on release.
Mhm.
I'll go quickly through this one.
This is where we started.
Move briskly on to 3.2.
Look at this. Good lord. Look at that old fire arrow button. There's the HD edition Faramir. HD edition Boromir. He comes in immediately with armor.
Yeah, so I made an HD edition Faramir, that went into this. Then I made a new Faramir for Age of the Ring. And then I made another new Faramir a couple months ago. That went into 8.0.
So when's the next one coming?
We'll talk about
Halfway there.
Oh, look at this. Look at this. Look at
What a lineup.
Faramir. This are the heroes. Yeah, and then Ring Hero. Ring Hero was Gandalf the White.
He was.
Yep.
Yeah, Ring Hero was Gandalf the White. No, this is not Age of the Ring 2.0. This is the Horse Lords Komogon.
Yeah, this is development version of Horse Lords. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, this is the Horse Lords.
In Gondor's honor.
Corrigan, when did you join up with these guys? Welcome.
Well, so I started out as a tester. So I joined the server in 2018. I was tech support man for a couple of months, and then I got a message from Matthias, just literally just saying I've still got it, saying, "Hey man, you want a beta test?" I was like, "Yeah, why not?"
Yeah.
So I joined the beta testing team in April 2019. And then shortly after that, I was invited to the team because I was very naughty and I looked at campaign missions that I wasn't supposed to and gave feedback.
Uh-huh.
Show our valor.
So you were invited to that.
Naughty
by
girl.
I was invited, yeah.
Of course, yes.
Fight it yourself.
And then I started learning how to code and like getting involved in some of the balance stuff around Dol Guldur time. So I want to say late 2019, 2020. And I haven't been able to get rid of me since.
Yep.
Oh. Oh.
Don't need to.
Not for
You're
lack
too-
of trying.
you're too
Oh,
useful.
Okay, okay that one's
They're going to wring me dry.
Oh,
The good old Age of the Ring dry cleaning
you're at
service.
the end of all things. Yeah. I remember back in the day when we were looking for beta testers, because now, I mean,
Oh, look
I
at
don't
this
know.
Gandalf. Jesus
Flame,
Christ.
Flame fairly recently got a, "Hey, do you want a beta test message for me?" That was a much longer message.
We've got a kind of set message now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we send
yeah,
it
yeah.
to all
Yeah, it's at
prospective
one
testers.
point, yeah, by like I think by the around like 3.0, yeah, we started getting like a message.
There's a
that we
process
wanted
as
to
well,
send.
so a tester will get invited, and then they've got like a stock message,
Yeah.
which I'm
Yeah.
prompted to send.
Yes, it's all
Yeah,
very
yeah, every time.
Corrigan,
professional.
if you will be so kind.
Yes,
That's
if
not,
you'd be
my
so
trigger
kind.
word.
Yeah, like when I send people a message to test, like it's this long message, and I ask a bunch of questions, and I'm always looking out for like certain tells in their answers as well. Like, let's see how they respond. Just to make sure that it's actually the correct material. So far, it's always been, because we don't send these messages easily. Sometimes we have, and we've regretted it. We won't go into that. Yeah.
But yeah, we normally discuss for a fair amount of time. We don't just send out things willy nilly.
Hey guys, one question. I've heard wrong about Mortar Elite unit would have a possibility to dismount. No, they will not.
There's a separate unit. There's a separate dismounted Smorgul Vanguard unit,
Yeah, there is that.
but it's never been considered as an option for the actual mounted guys.
Yeah.
These buttons, that lightsaber.
I know. The Games Workshop banner carry. Oh, there's their portrait. Still the same portrait.
Still the same.
Yep.
Yep.
That's what the background.
Knights are different. Oh, it's Frank Zorp.
No, there he
Is that Frank
Frank
Zorp?
Yeah, that was Frank.
That's Frank. Yeah, it's Frank Zorp.
There's the Knights of Dol Amroth.
I'm being bullied by Morgan.
Okami.
Get morged.
God, look at this. And this was released once though, and like this was still like a completely redesigned unit-wise, like completely redesigned faction. All three are. How many did we release with? It was Misty Mountains.
For
Isengard,
1.2,
Mordor.
it was 4, yeah. So
And
Gondor, Isengard, Mordor, Misty Mountains. Horse Lords, it was just a 3. So it was just Gondor, Mordor, and Isengard.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
so,
we started small
Yep.
because we had always had a plan to basically make an impression early and not just release with like everything available, but in like a horrible state.
That's all.
We always
yeah.
wanted to just like polish things and just keep growing and have like achievable goals. So like one faction per release, which we haven't always done. But just to keep your eyes on something and to give people something to play, because a big pitfall of modding, at least in BFME, I think for other games as well, is you draft all these massive plans and you basically string people along for an extended period of time, and then the team falls apart due to lack of planning or lack of maturity, lack of personal responsibility, and then people have waited for like 3 or 4 years for nothing. And when we started on like late Horse Lords, early Age of the Ring, we were like, we have to set certain things into place to we actively discussed this, like set certain things into place to prevent the usual things from going wrong.
Because that's exactly because we're like, well, we don't want this to be another Shadow and Flame.
Exactly, we don't want to.
We don't want to go through that again. Like, we got to remember. Okay, so and like, yeah, that's when we talked about like, well, yeah, like, what do we need to do? Like, so we need to make sure we get all the lists taken care of. We like who's doing what and stuff like that. And even that,
call each other out on things when someone is not doing something.
Yeah.
Just say it. Hey, aren't you going to do this? Weren't you going to do this? We still do that. I mean,
Yes.
If you say you're going to do something,
back then it was a bit more tense, because we were like, because we didn't know each other that well.
Yeah,
I was like,
also the
I'm
three
gonna
of us.
confront this guy again because he's not doing the thing.
Yes.
Because we gotta.
Like,
hello. Fuck's sake, you're gonna. Now it's like, hey, you motherfucker, you were gonna do that, you bitch, and then and then
like,
we
I'll take a pause.
like, oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah, that's how it goes now.
It's like, oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, my bad, dude. Sorry. Yeah, I'll get around in a few days. And then I'll wait a month. Yeah.
Well, no, usually you don't. Nowadays,
no, I don't.
Back then, I mean,
yeah,
I do. Yeah, you do. Yeah.
I mean, we did definitely because that was the
you
thing.
were officially retired though, so it's fine.
Like when we were all because when we were all working on that at the time, we were all just busy as hell with like normal life as we were, like just,
Oh,
just
yeah.
because like I was going to school, I was also working,
Yeah.
Arun was going to school, and eventually he would then start his full-time job, and you've been working the entire time. We've all had
Yeah.
the entire time, and that early stuff though, like in those early days, like it was just because it was just balancing the time, and like we still wanted to do this stuff, and like it's
Mm.
yeah, it was very
It was
stressful.
hard at times. Yeah.
And then dealing with the other stuff that happened at the time too.
Yeah. It's like the complete destruction of my precious Shadow and Flame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now, gentlemen, if I could take you forward to 2018, we're
So-
now in Age of the Ring 3.0.
Oh
So
my
things
god.
have now changed quite a bit.
Things are starting to unravel in all of our heads. We're starting to lose our bits of sanity here. This was
If we take a look at Lothlorien first. So Lothlorien has been released at this point. That came out in 2.0.
Yeah, let me get
You're no longer streaming. Just to remember that.
Yeah, I'm getting back up. There we go.
Am I not?
No, you're good.
No,
I had to
okay.
get my.
Oh, okay.
We're back. So here we are. This is now the
New
release
Fortress.
version. Yeah, this is the released version. So you went and did a retexture of and remodel too, because you spruced up some of the bits.
remodel of the fortress. Yeah.
Yeah, keeping the same design roughly, and I mean this was in up until 7 point whatever.
7.0, yeah. So
Yeah.
from 2.0, so 2017, till 7.0 in, what was that, 2021?
Yeah,
So it's
Yeah.
awesome years.
yeah.
3.0, so 3.0 was Erebor's release.
Was Erebor's first
Rohan
release,
came
yes.
with 4.0 with Rivendell.
Yeah.
Yeah, so a lot of these structures are actually going to be like more recent still, like with Lothlorien. Not for us because we replaced because we've had those new Lorien buildings in for so long. It's weird
That
looking at these
was
again.
so that was the largest gap between releases. So 3.0 to 4.0.
Yeah, like a year and a half, something like a year. I don't know.
I want to say July 2018 for 3.0, and then August of 2019 for 4.0.
Yeah, that's
I don't think we've had a gap bigger than that.
Well, yeah.
Well, we've had now, right?
Do you want to talk about 4.0's development time?
4.0's development time. I mean, well, hold on, my stream got messed up. There we go.
We come to
we're
protect
back.
Middle Earth.
Yeah, the old announcer is here.
Old announcer, yes, yep.
Yeah, people. I remember when we released 2.0, like the response to the announcers was so
You
negative.
double click on the stream so it's full screen.
Kind of full stream. There we go. But yeah, he got a lot of hate. Didn't really deserve it.
Yeah, that was one of the first, the earlier times when I started really, really hating certain aspects of this community, which I still hate to this day.
Yeah, I remember, like just like all because of the fact his mic
Yeah,
quality.
because
All
the
because
guy
it
who
was
voiced this-
Go ahead.
The guy who voiced this was like I got in touch with him because we were looking for voice actors. He was a guy who was, currently out of work because he was dealing with burnout issues, and he wanted to try a different hobby, and he wanted to try some voice acting. So yeah, okay, fine. So we wrote a script. He actually helped a little bit, and he just gave him directions, and he recorded the thing. Now the recording quality is not great, although at the time we weren't really in a position to be too particular about that.
No,
Because who the fuck are we?
there was three of us. Yeah, there was
My mic was way worse.
yeah,
Yeah.
we're on Walmart mics. Yeah,
Yeah, and
Skype
performance
yeah.
is great, right? But then, the recording quality is not so great. I know that. But we are just a mod, right? And so this got released, and people were just like hating on him so much. I hope he didn't see any of that stuff. But I thought it was so fucking mean. It was so mean.
Move out.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, these people. That was so exhausting.
Yeah.
I didn't like that.
All because it wasn't the vanilla voice, the voice sound. Yeah. Like so many of these people are just so attached to some of this vanilla stuff that as soon as it starts changing away, like they'll just
Yeah.
completely lose their shit.
Yeah, because we were planning to do
No
things
cloak animations. Oh my god.
No cloak.
Whoa.
Light detection, vanilla voice.
Yeah.
Oh my
We were
god.
planning to move away from a lot of vanilla stuff early on
Yes.
already,
Oh,
and eventually we did,
it's gonna be really
of course. But when we were first starting out and starting to move away from that stuff, there was a lot of backlash to all that stuff. It just kept cropping up. Like the backlash to two things: moving away from vanilla things that people had known forever, and moving away from things that Adine did that we weren't going to do. Why don't you do this? Well, why should we? Well, it's that way in Adine. That's the right way to do it.
Yeah, a lot of
No.
comparison in the early days.
Yeah. I remember a lot of that.
But because Adine was the measuring stick for a lot of people and a lot of mods for a long time.
Yeah.
It was the main active mod for Rise of the Witch King. Because
Yeah.
everything else was either dead or complete. Like RJ was long gone. Botter, well, that was still fairly early on, those days.
Yeah. So you just kept getting compared, and I still haven't played Adine, not once. I've seen people play it. I've never installed it myself, and at the time I was completely unfamiliar with them. I had seen some of their art, and I thought some of it was really good. Some of it wasn't, but some of it really was really good. Like the dwarf stuff, Adamin's dwarf stuff is still great. I love that stuff. But I didn't know like what they did necessarily. So whenever someone like started criticizing certain like ideas that we were implementing, I was always like wondering to myself, is the idea that we're doing bad, or is it just different from Adine? Sometimes I would even ask, what's the problem?
Komogon asks if the Kieran Amroth voices are the oldest in the mod. I don't think they are. I think Golfimble's been in since 1.0.
Ooh,
The Pinnithgelen Riders, they might have been 1.0 as well. That's Trench Dog.
No, definitely
the
not.
Royal Guard. The
Royal Guard, yeah.
TDH. They've been in since.
I swear there was some 1.0 stuff.
Maybe
Something
Imberhill, Golfable, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because that's Jonathan Bullock, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah,
He came back with some voices in 8.0. Interestingly,
I think they're both. Yeah, I think they're both in 1.2.
5 years later, he's back. Yeah.
Old upgrade
Yeah.
buttons. So you'll notice. So combo hordes were in quite a few of the old Age of the Ring releases.
When were they removed? 5.0?
6.2. Well, yeah,
6.0.
between 5 and 6.
Okay. Right.
The heavy Galadrim
I was on the team when they were removed.
The old balance boys would have a field day if these guys were still in.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, good times.
Hurry, elves of the wood!
Were they good times?
You are safe with us.
Well, no.
That goes without saying.
Put your fears aside.
Yeah. All right. Let's have a look at some of the questions that people have been asking. Some have been fairly interesting. Some not so much. Let's see.
Protect the elven lands.
Keep your wits sharp.
Hang on.
Raise the elven banner.
Oh. Just how agonizing was it having to model movie Azog and Bolg in the early days of the mod? Well, I modeled Azog several times. When that movie first came out, I thought it was better than it was because I was blinded by my fanboyism, and I didn't mind modeling it. I rarely mind modeling things. It's just the process is fun. Yeah, I don't mind. I didn't mind modeling the Azog that we had for all those years. It was good fun. I spent a long time. I really tried to get it right, and yeah, fine. Bolg, the old Bolg, we never modeled. We used the one from Battles of the Third Age, with permission, of course.
Ready, elves? Get your
So yeah, I did make an attempt at modeling that one to replace
settle.
the Battles of the Third Age one with our original model, but I never finished it.
I'm
I
back.
still have that old file. So no, it wasn't agonizing at all for me. It's all just fun work. However,
Ready your swords.
eventually removing Azog and having the gall
To
to go
vandalize.
in somewhat of a different direction, that was a little bit agonizing. That's just another one of those like community being shitty milestones. God, the backlash for that. Never understand it. I mean, I have disliked decisions in media that I consume, but I can't remember ever going on any platform and just ranting about it and just getting really mad in text.
A
And
lot of vitriol.
yeah, just like
Oh, are we talking about Azog?
Yeah.
What do we move
Yeah,
on
yeah.
to? Yeah, because I had to step away for a sec.
No, I answered the first question.
Oh, okay.
We can't talk about Age of the Ring development without talking a bit about Azog.
Yeah, we need to.
Yeah, there's still like there's sometimes because we in our team server we have a special like channel called the Art Gallery, and in the Art Gallery we post screen grabs of like the dumbest things or like the most annoying things that people say in the community, and you can scroll up that thing for days and not get to the end. There is so much, and sometimes I'll look back at the comments we got
The
on the
Azog.
Azog change. Oh god,
on
people were
poor
so
Log.
mad.
Log the portal to the past.
Yeah, Lug. Yeah.
Yeah, I think removing Azog was the biggest.
Oh, it was
biggest
definitely
backlash.
it was
Yeah,
the biggest
easily,
backlash, for
easily.
Sure. Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah.
It's,
I never
it's-
doubted the decision for a second.
The amount of
Back then,
projection, yeah, that people reading through those comments. I just remember like someone saying like just.
There's someone who
Some
got
of
really
this-
mad
got so
about the
mad.
fact that people bashed the Hobbit.
That people
in
were
our-
bashing the Hobbit, yeah. That people just
how
didn't
dare we.
like
Yeah.
oh no, like
Yeah, that was funny.
yeah. What a time. Who gives a fuck?
Actually,
It's a
I
fictional
know that's
character.
not the biggest backlash. I mean, not for me personally. The biggest backlash I ever got was in 2020 when we did the April Fool's article.
Oh, never
When we
mind.
Oh,
did-
yes.
when we did
Yes.
Age of the Silmarils.
Yes.
The April Fool's Age of the Silmarils.
Yeah, when the
And
dumbasses
I had the
decided to
gall
come together.
to. I'm just
yeah.
going to go into this. I had the gall to link a screen grab of Valencia's apology. Valencia was the so-called leader of one of those like Dagorath mod revivals.
Revivalists.
Dagorath. It's like this old mod.
revivalists. Because there's so
like,
many of them now.
revivalists. Yeah.
There's so many of them now.
Based on 893.8.1, I think.
Yeah.
It's just it's a project that has like all these stolen assets in it. And we have always been very vocal about stealing assets and keeping this community, somewhat responsible in terms of asset use, because I personally believe very strongly that if you allow these things to just fester and go on, that a creative community will eventually eat itself. Like there'll be nothing left if everybody just steals from everybody. Everything will look the same. Everybody will be very upset. And eventually there's nothing. That's happened. That's literally happened to some games and their modding communities where this whole thing just kept going rampant on and on and on, and now they're all dead, right? These things really happen. So we were always very vocal about stopping that stuff. So we have been in many discussions. If even been in voice chats with some of these people. Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, I remember those days. Oh god.
About maybe about like how they can. We would give them advice like how to like systematically remove stolen assets, right? And how you start a mod, and you start with a skeleton, the bare bones thing, and you start to fill things in. You have to learn, and then how it's a really rewarding process to actually learn how to do your own thing, and that's how you build a community following. Because these people just wanted clout.
They just wanted clout. All Valencia and them wanted was just fucking clout. They wanted to be the most popular mod all the time. Because that's what they always projected onto us.
We wanted to be
this whole like popularity thing where we just wanted to work on this fucking mod.
Yeah. So anyway, the leader of one of these mods was a guy called Valencia.
Yes.
Also from the Netherlands, I think. And we finally got him to apologize for his role in stealing our assets. Of course, he was an idiot, so he couldn't even write his own apology letter. I had to write it for him. And
we wrote that message. We wrote that message.
Yeah, we wrote the message.
Because both of us just sat down together and we're just like, this guy is asking us like to write his apology for him.
Yeah.
What the fuck? What the fuck are we doing?
We did that. We did that.
So that post, I mean, that wasn't even his words, but he got mad about it.
Yeah, so I posted a screen grab of that message.
Come with me.
In our April Fool's article, just kind of mocking it because it was a joke. Like it was stupid. And that spiraled into like dozens of people trying to uncover my real life identity and dox me. I got death threats. There was a channel dedicated to weird fetish rape stories featuring me as the protagonist. There were clone accounts made of me. Yeah. That went on for a couple days. I will say, wasn't fun. It wasn't fun.
No.
But I still would have posted that screen grab
Yeah, because
in the end. Yeah,
fucking idiots. They got mad.
that was the biggest thing for me. That was the biggest thing for me.
They got mad at the joke.
Yeah.
And I remember them sending me messages like, "How can I say this?" And I was just stringing them along the whole time. It's like, "Oh, I'll check with them." Fuck them all. Yeah.
Yeah,
This task
that was
I
fun.
don't give a shit because they, like, just fucking idiots.
Yeah, that's the biggest. That answered the question. That's my biggest
true.
backlash I personally experienced.
That's true, and that was at the point basically where we just like that was around about 4.0 when that like whole debacle 4.0 between that. I think it was between then and
It
Dumbledore.
might have
I think it
been
was
just before
development.
Dumbledore came out. So yeah.
Yeah, that whole shit show just started. Yeah.
That was very fun.
Yeah.
Now we have a big question that we're going to answer. Are there any plans on continuing your stunning Lord of the Rings campaign? For me personally, it was always a highlight. Thank you at the release to play through them, and it not being there feels odd. It's still there, by the way. Of course, the update is still amazing and perfect.
Thank you.
Well, if it's perfect, then you don't need more. Anyway, I've not been playing anything else since it came out, but an unfinished campaign feels just weird. I know, right? Yeah. We've been talking about this. We are all very, very glad to be done. I'll just contextualize this a little bit. So, the Two Towers took us 18 months to do. The Return of the King, in terms of like major battle events, is significantly larger than the Two Towers.
You would have a queen.
So, it would take us a very long time to achieve this. We have been working on this for 6 years. The reality is that we started the campaign, like the Fellowship of the Ring campaign, a few years into development. We made how many missions? Like 20 missions?
20.
I think so. Yep.
Pretty
20
sure.
missions
Pretty sure it's
of
20.
like very, very high
20,
detail
18 or
missions.
20.
Custom assets,
I know what it is you saw.
custom voice acting, and especially in the Two Towers, extensive mission plans, insane amounts of scripting tricks to get everything to work, video editing. It's extremely labor intensive. And 6 years down the line, we're just done. So we're not gonna do the Return of the King. We have decided that because people are going to keep asking, and we've talked about this very seriously. We've weighed the pros and the cons, and we just don't have it in us to do it again because we just got done with this massive release. It's not going to happen. I know that might feel like the mod is incomplete. To me, it doesn't feel that way at all, because Age of the Ring originally was just going to be new factions.
Yeah. The campaign just was
sort of happened.
Yeah, it was very lucky.
I know that the lead scripter for the Fellowship of the Ring and the Two Towers is completely done.
Yes.
Absolutely doesn't want to do it anymore. So we would basically have to learn how to script a lot of this stuff. So like the burden gets significantly heavier. So yeah, we've decided to just not do it and be done. So that's it. People are going to keep asking us. We've been saying we haven't decided, which up until a few days ago was true. But
We've now decided.
We've now decided that's not going to happen. Sorry. I know people really want that. But we just can't do it. All right. Next question. Hello, good. What will happen with the Lord of the Rings campaign? Will it continue? Thank you. Yeah, of course. No, it won't. Do any of you want to share as fans what hopes or forecasts you have about the future of Battlefield Earth 2 and the portrayal of J.R.R. Tolkien's works in general? Someone else can talk now.
Well, I don't know about
Hang on,
BFME
let me
too.
briefly interrupt you.
Okay.
If you decide the third part of the campaign, we decided not to do it. We just said that. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, no
Okay.
ifs.
No ifs.
Yeah, no, we're done. What was? No, I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh no, BFME. Probably not so much. But there's still Kingdoms of Arda for Bannerlord, which I'm looking forward to. But other than that, not too much Tolkien-wise. There's the Gollum game, which that story trailer. I mean, most of us here, that kind of hyped us up a bit more again.
Yeah.
There's that in regards to Tolkien,
Moria?
there's the Moria game that's
Yep,
coming
I'm
out.
doing a Moria team playthrough.
I hope it's good.
Oh yes.
I hope it's good. That's the thing.
I hope it's good enough.
I
so
hope
we can have
yeah. I mean, they're doing something unique already, just like having Fourth Age Moria and Gimli and shit. Maybe it'll be good. Maybe it'll be good. Yeah, exactly. Tolkien Valhalla. Exactly. That's what we're hoping. But
yeah.
I'm not climbing any more cliffs, so.
Oh, look at the old Nandor.
These dudes.
Look at their old portraits, the ancient portraits. Oof.
Yeah.
Still.
What was that made from?
Pretty damn good.
And who made it?
That's Haldir at Helm's Deep. I just kind of slapped a different
my God.
face, different eyes on him,
Yep.
and put a helmet on him.
Yep.
Wow.
Give him the plume that we have.
Yeah.
I don't even know how this design.
That
came to
was
be,
a
honestly.
desperate portrait to make.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, no
I
offense.
always really
Yeah,
liked
there we go.
this art. I always loved it. This was great.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, no. Before I go, Radagast.
Oh yeah.
Show Mr. Fecal face off.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, fecal face.
There he is. I think there was a little bit of backlash when he was never to the extent of Azog, but I think there were some people questioning why
Yeah.
his model was changing.
Yeah, literally just the hat. People were
Same
upset
with
that he lost
Bolg.
the hat.
Yes, same with Bolg.
Any like deviation from these designs, and people are gonna ask. It's like that with everything. It's like that with everything.
Things very, very heavily.
Yeah. Regardless of our reasoning, there's still just gonna be people who just are gonna refuse to like it, regardless. So I mean, that's fine. What do you do?
Yeah, I mean, they can go fuck himself.
Oh my god.
Oh my.
Oh, sorry. Jesus.
No, yeah, you're right.
I'm sorry.
So-
You like bird poop on Radagast the Brown's face? What the fuck's wrong with you? He's in
Rock
Astari. Get out of here. Who gives a shit about the stupid hat?
As for my answer to that question, I don't have a lot of hopes for the future of BFME 2. I mean, Jesus Christ, it's so old. We did decide to make most of our models available for people to use and remix and base things on. To hopefully maybe revitalize the modding scene a little bit. That might be nice. So people have an easier time, implementing their ideas with art rather than having to clone all this vanilla stuff. As for the portrayal of J.R.R. Tolkien's works in general, yeah, no.
How about Rings of Power Season 2?
Yeah, no, man. Fuck all that.
I'm done.
I still stand by what I said, which is I think that we need a decade moratorium on new Tolkien adaptations. I think we need to just leave it alone for 10 years and then see how we're feeling.
Yeah, which of course is not ever going to happen.
No, it's not because the money must flow. But
Yeah.
Of course. The money must Gonna
flow.
bastardize every intellectual property.
Uh-huh.
everything must be a product.
Consume.
Yep.
I'm gonna consume.
So where did the armory model? Was this a tactics model?
Yeah.
It
This
was.
is a tactic model that we got permission to use. We got
and along
permission to
with
all of
the tower.
the whole tactics asset library because Arun, back in the day, helped them with.
He did an animation set. He did a full Gandalf the White animation set.
Ah,
Oh my god.
You did ranged attack. He did ranged attack animations. I remember this story. For they wanted to do his Rise of the Return of the King game, like beam attack, where he'd like like his range attack. You know how he would like shoot. They wanted that, and Arun made animations for him.
Yeah.
And apparently
And
that just gave us. Apparently
So-
Rudy just like, hey, yeah, you guys can use the art then. Yeah.
That was so funny.
God, I remember Fat Cat messaging me about like
Is
just.
it vote for him on the server for a sec? Wait, what?
Oh man.
Bro
Still
said,
like this.
"Here, have this." It's just
Yeah.
all the assets.
I still like the scaffolding that came with the build-up animation with that tower.
Now this is an old model. This is a Shadow and Flame model.
Yes, it is. How long was that?
24. Oh, and well, until 8.0. Oh my god.
Oh man, yeah, it's been in for a long time.
So
and these
point-
orcs too.
so
These are Shadow and Flame orcs too.
These, yeah, so these orcs were in until 6.0, I want to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had some mileage.
They had some issues too. They caused a lot of problems with FPS and lag, and because we found out how
Variation men.
Oh man, what a nightmare.
Is Arun still involved with Age of the Ring? Arun officially retired, like I think 2 years ago now. But yeah, he's still around. Yeah.
Yeah, he still does stuff every so often. Yeah.
They more or less just ask me for something, and I tell them yes or no if I can do it or not.
Basically, yeah.
Try not to ask too much, you know.
You helped out a lot with the new building animations in 8.0. Like, we couldn't figure that out code-wise.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was you.
Sometimes we can still hear him. Yes. Right.
I still remember doing the whole archery range thing for.
Which a lot of people, I think, are still not aware of what that is.
That's fine.
It's a subtle thing. If you look at the Rohan archery range, it has an idle animation of like two archers idling near the target range. However, when you start recruiting units from that structure, they start shooting their bows. So it's a very special animation that only happens when you recruit stuff. So it's like a contextual idle animation. I think it's the only one of its kind. I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, we didn't really do it with anybody else.
No.
Old Shadow and Flame orcs. These were some of the. Oh yeah, it might do. Yeah. Were these guys so Shadow and Flame? Were these? I remember these were some of the last guys rendered for it, at least on ModDB.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was there any more development after these guys were made, or was it just
No.
full steam ahead on the Horse Lords after that?
those are the last things,
as soon as I posted that, I think on Shadow and Flame that we're done, that I was done, I was just quitting. I moved right into Horse Lords. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right.
And then this whole building.
Yeah.
It's had some mileage as well. 1.0 to 8.0.
I know Matthias has always hated this building, but there's something about it that I always loved.
Oh yeah, I loathed this one.
Who made this one?
I did.
You did, yeah.
Uh-huh.
As soon as I made it, I was like, oh fuck. I don't like this at all.
Look at all these patrols you get.
I know.
It's been nerfed to hell.
There's so many patrols.
They keep coming. More. Yeah, I never liked this one.
We make war for Khan in the east.
I don't know.
The old men of Khand.
Can't win them all.
Can't win them all.
Next question. This is kind of phrased weird. I'm guessing it's a question. Keeping morale up for such a long time, especially during campaign development and reaching the end of the mod altogether. I'm guessing is how do. That's the question. So that's something that in very early development we were consciously aware of the necessity of keeping team organized and focused. I remember very early on. This was before either George or Alex or Thomas even joined the team. We had like the team was slowly growing. Like old names were slowly starting to come back
Starting to
and
come
joining our
join.
team,
Yeah, we got like
and everybody was just kind of doing their own thing, and that's how mods die in my experience. As soon as everybody just like treats the mod as a pretext for just making stuff, that's when things start to fail, and focus gets lost and motivation just goes away. So we made an extensive post basically telling everybody, hey, this is not just an excuse to do stuff again. This is actually a project, and we are now going to focus on one thing at a time, and everybody's going to contribute to that one thing in some way, shape, or form, either through code, through making maps, through making models. But this is what we're going to do.
I saw that post. That was on Revora, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Just to
Loose
get
and Evercool, too.
everybody, just to get everybody, well, yeah, but that was before that. The article was way before that. This was when we were actually in development on Age of the Ring, and things were starting to stall, and we were like, "Fuck, here we go again." We've seen this before. And in terms of keeping focus or staying motivated, that's in my experience, and I think everybody here would agree with that, because we're all creatives, right? It's discipline. It's the discipline muscle that you have to train every day, or however whatever time you have in any given week. You have to set time aside and just sit down and force yourself to do it until, even if you don't want to.
And having
until-
that effort focus somewhere, I mean, having Arthur on the team, our project manager,
yeah.
Oh, man.
putting all these documents together for us to follow, and if shit needs
Yeah.
to get done, we can just get it done.
Yep.
Yeah,
That was
exactly.
hugely motivating. Yeah, because before
Instead
it
of being
was
directionless.
yeah, because before it was just it was one of us three. Like we'd write the faction plan, and then we'd go by that. We didn't really know what was going on because we didn't really keep a change list, which was a huge problem in early development for us.
Yeah,
We
too
were
lazy to do it.
passing around a RAR file to code for like
Yeah.
a large like through like all of early development. That was a nightmare. That's how people still do it.
Early development was hell, bro.
It was hell. And then eventually we got Google Drive set up because like we didn't go for GitHub right away because I don't know.
Because you guys didn't listen to me. Yeah,
It didn't look like they had the feature that we were looking for, that we wanted to make sure that the thing was private and all that kind of stuff. And
It also wasn't free until 2020.
I'll be right back.
Yeah, it was.
It wasn't free to the capacity that we needed it.
Okay. Because I used it in 2014.
Yeah, for a while though they had issues, or they had this thing where like if your project got so big it had to be public.
that's, I think, what it was. Yes, because I looked at that up because I didn't want, like, yeah, I mean, I'm sorry, we want to develop the thing in private because,
Yeah.
you know, because I remember when we posted our changelog and what happened with that.
Yeah, but chances are nobody would have found it.
Maybe.
You just give it like a different name.
Yeah.
Nobody's gonna find it.
Specifically
Blibbly blop blop.
Yeah,
Well,
flippy
these eyes
flop
a bit soft here.
the development.
Here, I'll boost your audio.
Thank you.
There we go. Yeah, I had you a little bit low on Discord. Okay, there you go. You should be better.
So yeah, keeping morale up is just a matter of setting goals, achievable goals, small goals. Like, okay, we're going to do one faction, but in order to do that faction, first we're going to decide on all the powers. We're going to decide the powers, then we're going to code some of the powers. We're going to do some of the art for the powers, and we're going to move on to the models. And you just keep getting that dopamine boost because you keep achieving your small little goal. Keep everybody focused, and just keep that discipline muscle flexing. Just keep doing it. Just keep doing it.
Yep.
I think when things really start to align, you need, or maybe the discipline doesn't come into it so much. Like when everyone is really, it feels it's all really aligned, and you can see everyone sort of
Yes.
pulling in the same way. I know that starts to feel like that when we did Two Towers, and
That's exactly what I
you
was
just
gonna,
see
yeah.
everyone making cool stuff every day.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
motivating.
Yep. That time during, I remember that specific time during Two Towers, because that's basically when you came back in. Was when we were developing Two Towers. I'm pretty sure that's when you rejoined the team, Alex.
Bit after, yeah.
Bit after, yeah. Because the first mission, because you wrote the whole mission plan for the Grey Company. And then we were just like, oh my god, he's back. He's back.
Yeah, that was fun. That was fun.
And yeah, just going through that whole section, that was, just seeing everyone putting out the same, like, work, putting out quality work, everyone is it's motivating.
That time when we'd have like a daily campaign mission test stream, like
Yes.
every day pretty much.
Yes.
That was so fun.
Just sitting in voice chat, just watching someone play the new, the new
And then
push
seeing the
from
beta
Harry.
testers get involved and asking them to stream. Yeah, that was really fun.
Yeah.
I will never forget when, I think maybe Alex was there as well, when Nid first played Helm's Deep. Were you there, Alex?
I was there.
Yeah, that was a
special.
great night. Yeah, it was so much fun. Nid played it, and he gave us a standing ovation. He told us he stood up, and he clapped. It was like, oh my god, this is awesome. Yeah, that is also very motivating. But for me, that's also an anxiety thing. Like if I see other people doing really cool stuff,
Then I gotta do it too. Yeah, same.
No, I gotta keep up, and because they're gonna need something from me. If I don't do it, I'm gonna stall the whole thing. It's gonna be awful. keep doing stuff. Yeah, it's also motivating. Yeah, for sure. Like when I would see some of the stuff that you would write for the campaign, or I would see some of the the mapping stuff going on, I'd be like, oh my god, let's just keep pushing, and just do more and more little assets and more little things and get everything to be better. Yeah, just more and better.
More map props.
Names Nazgul.
Oh god,
We
yeah,
hardly
there
do.
they are. Yeah. Thank God we changed that. Yeah.
There was even some backlash to that.
There was.
I remember that.
Yes.
People were upset that we got rid of the Nazgul's names.
Mad
Like
about
legitimately upset. Yeah, like legitimately upset. Some person.
People attach to things.
Very hard. Yeah.
That's something I've learned. Yeah, the smallest of things. That they would just get so
it's
attached
hard to break. Yeah, hard to break those attachments.
Yeah.
Does the mod team play PvP games with each other? If so, who usually wins?
Yeah, we've played a couple. Rarely.
Yeah, more so in the past we did.
I used to be more involved with the testing team a couple of years ago.
You were lead tester. You still are lead tester, actually.
Yes. Yeah.
At one point, I think it was Arthur who was the best on the team, like in terms of like the PvP. That was the last time we really like talked about that, because yeah, most of us on the core team we don't really PvP anymore.
No, we just develop, take notes from testing results, take notes from the two balanced people that are actually on the team, Kamogan and Nid.
Yep. Godsends.
Yeah.
I mean, I had a lot of fun as well. Like we'd have like a little team meeting. Like Nid and Kamogan would prepare a balanced stock for us.
Yeah.
We would just sit down and just go through it. That would always be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was great.
Did this patch have Haradi in it? It did. Yeah, it did.
Yeah, they're all.
I remember as those balance stocks kept coming in, like we started off a little bit defiant sometimes. Like, no. We can't change this, we can't change that. And like over time, like they just wore us down. We're just like, okay, okay, sure.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Well, it was also kind of like two sides adapting to each other, because like they started to understand your design philosophy, and like they would, their suggestions would get like a lot.
There are limits to both sides. Yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like the new muster hero, that was Kmogon's idea, and he set all of that up, and like.
Yeah, and that's one of my favorite powers in Rohan now. Like it's such a good idea. It just aids it's such a gameplay thing, and it fits them so well.
Yeah.
It's like because they can call their horses. The footmen, they probably had horses. Yeah, it's so cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The overlap between balance and design definitely became more refined. The more those docs came out, the more feedback we got from each other.
Yeah, come
I personally, I don't play PvP. I hate it. I'm really bad. I would only play like team games or like as a joke. I would play come up with like
Worm
dumb
strat.
strategies. The worm strat, famous worm strat, which
Legendary.
still a meme to this day.
Fucking legend.
We played
God, look at that
3v3
shitty
against his
Witch King
computer, I
token,
think.
sorry.
And I was Misty Mountains, and I decided that the first thing I was gonna bake, even before any resource structures, was a worm lair.
Why not?
And I got
old
one
brown
worm
lines.
out before we lost.
Why not? What?
It was on old
You're
world.
gonna get caught up with some balance, nerd. Fuck it.
I don't care. I just want to,
Man.
I remember the beaches of Normandy when I would load up ships with berserkers
Yep,
and
I
storm the
remember that.
beaches.
Beaches of Normandy.
I remember that. Yep. Oh yeah.
That was very fun.
I was
But
just looking at Witch King because that was a big balance point, big balance change. So faction leaders used to start out at level 5
yeah,
until
They did.
6.0, I want to say. That was a big thing, yeah. That was quite a big point of contention for a while.
mm-hmm. Oh yes, oh yeah.
CP
So glad he's
changes.
changing now.
Oh yeah, but that's the story in itself. So you'll notice I'm on 1000 CP for the
Yeah,
very start.
so
on
many
3.0.
different CP changes, like just with command points and. That's true. Yeah, 3.0. This was still when we were when we had no idea what was going on with the command point bug, and so we needed a. So the reason why that it was permanently up at 1,000 command points, or whatever whatever that we were setting it up to. It was because of that command point bug that we kept getting in Gondor. That I remember the first showcase video Rube posted, like for Age of the Ring, which is the Gondor one, was just like unplayable. It's just like a picture. Yeah, I think you posted it the other day, George. It's just Boromir, like fucking dying Boromir.
Yep.
As the thumbnail.
That
And
was Horse Lords.
That's how I felt. Yeah, I felt like fucking Boromir right there, like just watching.
Because the issue was
those command
if you had like stacking leaderships for structures, you'll just CP. You'd notice like your CP your limit would just start plummeting to 0, and then you just couldn't recruit anything anymore. And that was in like Horse Lords 1.0, 2.0.
Yeah,
it's awful.
It was a nightmare. Because the meantime, we were trying to implement all these things, and in the meantime, it was just like this everlasting bug that we were still just not sure how to fix, like what was causing it, and eventually we were able to figure it out. But yeah, thank God more people joined the team.
I got so fucking stressed with that shit.
Fixed for 4.2, luckily.
Yeah, 3.0 was stressful.
They were like, Arvin, what's causing that? I'm like, I don't know.
I don't know. Remember the out of sync bug? Wasn't 3.0 this was the release that had the out of sync bug?
It was.
I remember
came like shortly afterwards.
This is a story that I fucking tell to employers now. Like just spending a whole 2 weeks talking with the community, just like trying. I remember because that's how Odo joined the team. That's how Arthur joined the team. He was willing to help with the out of sync issue because it just wasn't working. Like we could not for the life of us figure out what the fuck was going on. And eventually we're able to pinpoint it down to missing like lingering geometry of like the Erebor structures or whatever structures that would just and like we would never have been able to find that out. There was only a few of us on the team at that point. The testing team was not a testing team.
That's that discipline muscle flexing right there.
Yeah, because
that was a great time to quit.
Oh, I wanted to quit so fucking bad. I was struggling because I was having a shit time at work. That I remember I was, and then everything else, the whole community was just like exploding. Like, why isn't it working? Why can't we play multiplayer? I was like, I don't know.
We literally didn't know.
I don't know.
We just didn't know.
That's why, like, when we say we don't know,
we don't know.
Don't know, bro.
Yeah. Like that guy in support yesterday. Yeah.
Oh, God.
I don't know. I can't help you. Stop. I'm not being paid for this. I don't know the answer.
I know.
Okay, I'm sorry. I can't always help you.
I know. Sometimes it's so because it's just development itself could just be so stressful with some of this stuff. Like some of those bugs that we came across just
because we wanted to fucking deliver. We wanted to make this really, really good. That was always the plan. Like be, arguably the greatest BFME mod, that was kind of what we wanted to do. That's literally what we set out to do and work towards. And then you got some like these massive bugs, and it just throws everything, into disarray. You're like, oh god, did I just make all this shit for nothing? Because now it's unplayable.
Oh yeah, that happens so much. Yeah, yeah, going to sleep, just like, oh my god, what am I doing? Why am I working on this? This is a nightmare. I mean, those never stopped, but during that time, they were very prevalent. Yeah,
Yeah,
they were very prevalent.
Yeah,
But,
there were times where I couldn't sleep.
Yeah, where I was just
Recently,
like,
when we were working on the Lord of the Ring rework, there was a bug.
I remember you telling me.
Sleep.
Oh my god,
I couldn't sleep because like fuck. Like we just decided on the release date, and now this shit happens.
I know, yeah.
Fuck.
And then yeah.
Oh, by the way, originally we were gonna release 8.0 on April 1st, as though like a little joke. It was gonna be on April 1st, but we realized that it was done, so we just released it.
Yeah,
2 weeks.
I messaged you like the night before Tuesday, just like, hey, I don't really care like what day we release. If we want to release it tomorrow, I'm down. If we all think it's ready, let's just do it. And you're like, yeah, okay. and then we tapped out to the team.
Yep. And then we released it.
And then we released it.
We released.
There was a little bit of a panic that
we've
day.
always said, in our server, when you ask when release, we do the question mark release, and the bot used to say when it's done. That's exactly when we released it.
Did we not deliver? Yeah, did we not deliver?
It's like poetry.
Yes.
Yeah. Age of the scam, dude. Scam of the ring.
Scam
of the ring, bro. Nah, we never release. Never at all.
Yeah, people start getting really anxious. We started getting a lot of those messages. Like they're just fucking with us. They're never going to release.
Yeah, it's just.
Remember, I'm just going to call them out. Udomac and John Doran. No, they're not going to release.
Guy of the East. I remember Guy of the East just whole unhinged rant about just all of his unhinged rants now.
Yeah. Meanwhile, this guy is making like loads of money off of us.
Yeah.
YouTube.
Well, you're welcome, Guy of the East.
You're
we
welcome.
give you your content and your money, so you're welcome.
Enjoy.
You fucking asshole.
Have a beer on me.
Have a beer.
Have a beer on me.
Have a drink. So yeah, man. Yeah, 3.0 was the time. this release. Looking at this structure, like I love this structure, but it just reminds
Seeds of Doguldur.
me. This was the first
Necromancy,
little bit.
Castellans, Kamul.
Yeah.
Like look at the background on the Castellan. Look at the unit background. Look at the unit background or the hero background for Kamul. Is that the one that we still used in? No, we started using different backgrounds for.
That one looks very similar. I don't know, maybe.
Oh god, look at that.
Because what was the original faction plan lineup for Age of the Ring? Because
we wanted to talk
later
about
on.
that. Oh, the old faction plans. Do you still have those?
Yeah, from 2018 I have them.
Yeah.
For that I don't.
Wasn't part of the initial lineup. That came
No.
later.
The original lineup was we're gonna do 2.0 was gonna be LotR, 3.0 Erebor, 4.0 Embladris, 5.0 was gonna be like Rohan, and then 6.0 was gonna be Mirkwood, and we call it Mirkwood or Greenwood, and then it's gonna be Herodwaith, and that's all we were gonna do. No campaigns or whatever planned at all. No Watering rework planned at all. No adventure factions planned at all.
No.
Definitely not.
I had written a very bare bones Dol Guldur plan years and years ago. It had one thing it had was Thrain the Broken. That was always in there. I always liked that idea. It had no necromancy things or whatever. Like it was basically just Mordor. With undead stuff, right? But on a fateful train journey from London to Amsterdam in 2018, I was on my phone and I was bored. Because who looks out the window? I've seen these drab Belgian places. So I'm just like on my phone and I'm typing in my little notepad app, and I'm just like, well, I'm bored. I'm gonna write a faction plan. It's time to write the Dol Guldur faction plan. Which
Let us proceed to the Dol Guldur
let us
faction
proceed
plan.
to the Dol Guldur faction plan. Nobody wanted a Dol Guldur faction in the team.
At that point, no, because I mean,
Nobody had even considered it.
because you brought it up again at one point. Because when I remember now when we first started, when we were going through the list, you did always want it. I kind of forgot about that conversation because I remember the one we later had where I was like, okay, I was more open, but I was still like, we don't have we have very little coders because this was around 4.0. And this was when that was going to be the last release. 4.0 was looking to be the last release of Age of the Ring. I think we've mentioned this before on stream, but bring it up. It was going to end up.
I was a tester there, and I was invited to the team, and I could see things.
Yeah, it was a nightmare. It was tired. We were all tired. It was it was.
So to get back on track. If
Sorry.
not Double Door, other factions which you guys have added, none.
That would have been it. Yeah, the mod would have been done.
Would have been done, and people would have asked where where all the other factions were, and
we
wouldn't care.
No ideas at all. So I wrote that plan, and the plan was, I liked it a lot. It was not as complex as what we ended up doing, but it had all of the hallmark features. It had Dark Presence, it had the necromancy stuff, it had the slow decay feature. All that stuff was in there. It has Spider Riders,
yes,
as well.
It
didn't have Kargast. That was a late addition.
Yeah.
But all the other heroes that were planned. So I wrote parts of that plan, and I kept sending them to Kyle over the course of the day. And I was like, yeah, I really want to do this. I really want to make this faction. Kyle was like, well, I guess we'll see. We'll put it at the end, and after Harad, I guess maybe we'll do Dol Guldur then. I was like, okay, fine.
Yeah.
But that was all I needed. So I started working on little models, making things.
Mushrooms. And mushrooms done. Because what was the first Dol Guldur model that you did?
Probably the Fortress.
Yeah, one of the because it went through a few designs, if I remember correct.
No, the Fortress did not.
Did it not?
No,
was that okay?
I shot it out one evening and it was done.
Oh my god.
The Merc one did.
It's never changed.
Because the Merc, because I know the Merc one did. I couldn't remember
the Merc one definitely did.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So then the horrendous release of...
Hold on, no, what didn't you make Necromancer way back in 2019? That was an early one.
That might be the first one. Yeah. Anyway, so the horrendous development of 4.0, in which everybody almost died and quit and moved on, happened. And
we looked around.
We got a couple of new coders on board, and I'm like, it's time to make an executive decision. So I said, well, I think we need to shake things up.
Because we can't work on Woodland Realm, because originally we were going to go into, we were thinking, but we didn't have buildings.
Yeah, we didn't have concepts for Woodland Realm buildings yet at all. We didn't really know what to do, and we had just done Rivendell, which is also elves.
Yeah.
Not only elves, but it's elvish, So I'm like, well, let's just do something good. Let's just do the undead zombie faction. With all the weird green magic and necromancy and skeletons and creepy, classic ghoulish vibes. Let's just do that. That's going to be very different, and it's going to be really fun. And then Kyle, being worn down, said, "Yeah, all right,
let's do it."
Acquiesced.
It's effects time. It's effects time.
Everything is done,
Yeah, because I was able, because basically by that point you were gonna do you that's when you started doing all the art. You did pretty much all the art. I would do models here and there because before we would kind of evenly we would all three of us. A room, we would do the models, and we would try to split the work. You did the majority, but we did.
Do you think that code-wise, do you think Dol Guldur would have happened had we not had max power?
No.
Oh,
if
Max Hardy, if he never joined the mod team, the mod would have been. It never.
That's a different.
It wouldn't have happened. If it weren't for Max, saved the mod. He saved the mod.
We all know it.
Yes, we've told him so yeah. If there's anyone
Max,
to thank,
the coding wizard,
the man, just the man. He saved us.
You can make all the art you want, but if there's nobody to implement it, and fix stuff and innovate, in coding stuff. Because he was very very innovative. He coded all those weird Dol
All of it.
Guldur.
All of it.
The whole
All of
shade
it.
mechanic, how the shades work,
Shades, decay,
That was
getting
hard.
all that, getting all that
eternal
like
servitude.
yeah.
Yeah.
Look at this spell book.
And that was a really good decision, I thought. Looking back, going to Dol Guldur from that horrible 4.0 release in which I wanted to die. Because now, like,
Yes.
okay, now we're going to go in a completely different direction, and we're going to, just do really fresh stuff. We're not going to be beholden to, comparisons with other interpretations of this content, because nobody ever did this before. Nobody
It was
ever.
fun. I think it was Dol Guldur when I started learning how to code, and I think just because it was so interesting, it was fun to play test. It was just fun to see, like, being fleshed out by Max. I wanted to get involved in that. I don't think I probably would have started coding for a
There you
while
go.
had we done something else. Yeah.
There you go. Yeah. It's all a weird, just like chain of events.
The portrait revamp in that time. I can't remember, when was the portrait? Was that 5.0 when all those came out, or was that
6.2?
that was 6.0 when all the
The background stuff.
Yeah.
when we added all the
Yeah,
backgrounds and changed everything.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's when Kamogan was getting really interested. Angmar was getting really interested. Angmar, of course, our local support hero.
Yes. Shout out to Angmar.
We put you on the credits, by the way. I don't know if you saw that.
Well deserved.
Yes.
It's not an easy job at all.
No.
I've been there, done it. Patience are the same.
That when Dol Guldur was made, Age of Ring kind of came into its own as a mod. No, I think we were always very much doing our own thing.
I'd say 4.0 was when things really, really started coming together, though.
Yeah, 4.0, yeah.
Lord of the Rings campaign.
But I think what Dol Guldur was just, it was more of, like, other people noticing Age of Ring as being like its own thing. We were always our own thing. Rohan was nobody's on a Rohan like ours. Nobody's on a Rivendell like ours.
Yeah, everyone wants some
things
legends.
before, right?
Yeah, I mean, oh god, yeah, and even Rivendell, people haven't, like, remember all the times, like the threads in the past talking about how we did Rivendell wrong and like all that. Oh man. Anyways, sorry.
Yeah, so
remember.
I think Dol Guldur was definitely a seminal moment, but not in terms of our identity, but in terms of other people's perception of what we were doing.
I brought up Lord of the Rings campaign. I'm playing on what was essentially a preview to that in 3.0. So
Yeah.
Fudge, legendary scripter came back in what, late 2018 or
Yeah.
early 2018.
Yeah. So Fudge, as we know him as Harry, of course, good old Harry. He had been making maps for BFME for a very long time. I think he's of my modding generation, which is a thing. I'm making it a thing. Just like Alex is, of course. Yes. And Thomas as well, though he wasn't really modding at the time. You were around.
I was around.
We're the old guys.
C beta tester.
Yeah, I was a beta tester for C very briefly.
Yeah. So, Harry also did scripting. He is the one, I think, who actually did he make the story mission map, like the movie mission map?
I can't remember.
He did. He revamped it, so that was made for BFME 1, and then Harry went in and just completely revamped it in 2013.
Right.
But he did a bunch of scripted mission maps himself, which is still all up on ModDB.
Yeah. Yeah. And Harry told us, like, he became interested in Age of the Ring. Apparently he'd been looking at our stuff, but he became interested and wanted to actually join when he saw Kyle's Gandalf the Grey model. Which is wonderful. That's a great model. Like, that's
such a
still
great
a
story.
great model.
Like,
And Harry's like,
it's
oh,
warms.
that's really good. And then I guess that was my Harry impression.
Not bad. Awful, but okay.
I hope he'll be able to make it sometime. I think he said he was going to be able to make it this stream, didn't he?
Maybe he might
Hopefully,
join.
hopefully he'll show up in a little bit later.
But yeah.
He saw that.
And he joined, and he made maps. for us, and then he saw that we were working on some campaign plans.
Azul Bazaar,
And then he's like, "Oh, by the way, I have this laying around. It's my mission map of the Last Alliance." And we looked at it, we played it. I was like, "Oh, this is really complete." But
much more complete at the time. Wasn't it more complete at the time than Azul Bazaar too?
Yeah. Because he already made it. He made it for BFME 1.
BFME 1 map, yeah.
So we played it, and we were like, "Okay, this is really great. Let's make it better." Just started adding all these little.
And then we just made everything.
And then we made all new models for all the heroes.
Buttons, art,
button
these
art.
tents.
We just created this. This
the
was
lore
this
strings.
This was in 4.0, and I will say this is also something that saved the mod.
Well, this is 3.0. This came out of 3.0.
Yeah,
sorry.
Came in 3.2.
But at the same time, this came at the end of 3.0, and this is also one of those things that to me saved the mod because I was having fun doing this, where I wasn't having fun, hadn't been having fun for many a moon.
Yes.
Prior to this, this was fun. I'm like, okay, this is great. And we were talking about this before we went live, but when he sent us this and we started like improving it, and he was like, "Yeah, we can do more missions," and because Kyle and I had been writing little mission plans for Shadow and Flame because that was going to have an original campaign.
Because that was those are our messages on Facebook. We just talk about what we'd want to do. How would we adapt it?
Yeah.
So yeah, and
we just scrambled like shit. He wants a script mission. All right,
it's like, Kyle, do you have it? Like you messaged me, and I woke up and
like
bring both the plans. I'm like, oh my god.
Bring out the plans. We're gonna revamp these plans a little bit.
Oh my god, it's happening.
Get in, loser. We're campaign development.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yes, and certainly we're now developing the campaign.
Yeah.
So we looked at those plans. We wrote new ones. Man, that was fun. That was such a good time. Oh my god!
I remember being absent like that week or something, and I came back, and Kyle was just like, "Arun, look!"
Last Alliance soldiers.
And then I was just like, "Where the elf spearmen?" He was like, "Oh, we're not gonna do it. No one wants surrogate." I said, "Send it."
Here they are.
I said, "Send it."
Yes, that's exactly what happened. Yes.
Just want to say, so everything on screen now, like art-wise, has been replaced.
No.
Bar one hero.
Yeah.
But then his portrait's been replaced.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It never ends.
We replace a lot of stuff.
Yep. The replacements never end.
Yeah. I'll defend it now.
Except now, yeah. We're done.
Now we're over.
Oh god.
Yeah. What a good time. Harry, man, what a fucking soldier. Oh my god.
Yeah.
So much fun. I'm gonna move on to another question.
Yeah,
what other creative projects are you working on, or do you want to work on after Age of the Ring? Arun can answer that.
I zoned out. I was showing what happened.
What other creative projects are you working on, or do you want to work on after Age of the Ring?
Creative.
I'm a draw.
This shamelessly plugged. Yeah, shamelessly plugged, dude.
Bro, I ain't plugging crap right
You
now.
don't plug yet? Okay.
No.
We'll plug him some other day.
Yeah, Arun does art. He does drawing commissions. I mean, I don't know. What do I want to do after this? I mean, photography. I like to do photography. I like to buy like a nice camera.
I want to paint. Like traditionally paint. I would love to paint again.
Didn't you want to do like music and stuff too?
Yeah, that too. I want to do some music editing. I mean, you know, never stop doing that. But paint. Yeah, I really want to paint. Because I haven't painted since like high school.
This was just the start.
And I still have all like my acrylics, like all my paint brushes and stuff. I would just need to get like an easel.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
I mean, I write, so I'll probably write more. Planning a second novel at the moment, very slowly. So gonna do that.
Finished my degree a couple of months ago, so we're going to start work. Not too much longer left now. That will keep me busy, I'm sure.
Doctor.
Doctor.
Dr. Gorg.
Hope to Goog.
Junior.
Yeah, what about you, Wembley?
I want to get back into doing more non-Lord of the Rings art. My bread and butter is actually sci-fi, and like I've been kind of itching to get back into doing more stuff like that. And I also I used to make music a lot, and I basically stopped when I joined the Age of the Ring team, and I want to get back into doing that and figure out kind of what my next creative venture is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What about you,
Alex?
I don't really know. I always dabble in lots of little things, and my day job is pretty creative, so I'm pretty lucky in that sense. But I don't know. I've got some sort of life changes coming up this year that I will take a bit of my time, and then when things settle again, I don't know. Maybe some painting. Been dabbling in ceramics lately.
Ceramics?
Oh,
What?
nice.
Yeah, that's been really cool. Yeah, I've got a friend who has like a ceramics wheel and a little art practice of her own. So I've just been spinning some clay, which is really fun.
Yeah. Wow. I haven't done that
I don't
in
know.
ages either.
See.
Also since school.
yeah. Yeah, their 3D art in school was phenomenal. I loved it.
I procrastinated on mine because I only wanted to draw when I was in like high school and whatever, and I didn't and it was required to take 3D classes, and because I was just a stupid kid, I didn't understand why, and so I just like didn't take the class, which I wish I did. It was so stupid.
Yeah.
It was so stupid. I don't know why I didn't just go because I ended up enjoying it, but you know.
That was like me in figure drawing. I didn't want to do it for some reason.
I love
Now
figure drawing.
I kicked myself every day for not doing it because I
I
really like
loved
doing it now.
Yeah, I loved figure drawing. Because I took that in college. Yeah, once I went to college. But yeah, I remember taking, because in my 3D class we had ceramics as well, and but also metal smithing. So we had we made like jewelry and stuff. Like I remember making
awesome.
I made a septum. I remember I engraved like the Imperial logo because Skyrim it came out at that point, because you know. I had to. I still have it somewhere. Yeah, like it's just like a little like brass septum that I made. So yeah, it was cool.
Did you say a second novel? Have you published one already? I loved reading all the articles for Age of the Ring. Thanks. Well, no, I haven't published my first novel, sadly. I'm looking for a publisher at the moment. Sending out manuscripts, odds are never great for this type of thing, but I'm doing my best.
Should note, it is in Dutch though too.
Yes.
Yeah.
And even if it wasn't in Dutch, I was never going to let anybody in this community read it. Sorry. that's like Seinfeld, worlds colliding. I need to keep some things separate. I'm not going to... It's a very personal, thing. I mean, I wish it was in English so you could read it at least, Carl.
I know.
It's not.
Okay.
So
maybe someday.
Maybe someday if I get really, really lucky.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to translate that shit myself. It needs to have a professional translator to get the tone.
I've heard plenty of stories about it over the years anyways. I know quite a bit about it.
Okay, what were your top 3 favorite factions to work on? I'll go first. Number 1, Dol Guldur. Number 2, Woodland Realm. Number 3, Haradwaith. Easy.
Who wants to go next?
I'll go next. Harad, Woodland Realm, Dol Guldur. I felt I could be most involved with Harad, because by that point I kind of figured out the coding stuff.
Yeah, you just figured that out, didn't you? It's like, all right, now I know how to code. Jesus Christ. I've never seen anybody learn so much, do it so well, so fast. It's incredible. Fucking incredible.
Absolutely.
I had good teachers. Well, I had Max, I had Arthur. I had good teachers.
Of course.
Yeah, it's true that Arthur learned how to code too, because he he learned quite a bit as well.
Yeah, he did it really quickly.
He learned a hell of a lot.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, who's next?
I guess I'll go. What was mine? I think Woven Realm was my favorite period, and then after that would probably be Haradwaith, and then after that Dumbledore. Because anything, you know, like I enjoyed developing like some of the other, like earlier factions, but just everything that went out, like you know, went on like with it, you know, it's just stress. There's so much less stress, and from 5.0 to this one. So yeah, Woven Realm though, I enjoyed the shit out of. Like I love like every day when we like I would just sit and like we would just sit and chat and like we just like watch
portrait
like,
streams.
It just happened.
I
yes.
loved the portrait
Those are fun.
streams.
Yeah, it was fun because I got to work on stuff that I found like really fun. Like I enjoyed doing like all those portrait streams, putting backgrounds on all of our old art because that's
which is so chill as well because it was in a shitty time. It was like pandemic time. Lockdown was going on.
Yeah, you had your lockdown hair.
Yep.
Yes. And we were just basically just sitting there
locks.
looking through the film, like, and we like we were streaming
all the lockdown hair. Oh,
the lockdown locks.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's still on that ruffian. Immortalized.
Immortalized. Oh God, yeah.
Oh, amazing. So yeah, probably that. What about the rest of you guys?
Well, I've only worked on 2 factions, so though a lot of my stuff has been on side content, but like really, I think Haradwaith is definitely my favorite because I wasn't as involved with Woodland Realm development because I was working on the initial AI update then.
Yes.
But Haradwaith was a lot of fun to work on, and I really got to do weird stuff like code-wise with Haradwaith, which was really fun. But yeah, that was my favorite.
Erebor.
Yeah. Yeah, Erebor. That was your favorite release?
Erebor. What else?
Erebor, War of the Ring. Erebor,
No. Factions.
That you worked on. Yeah.
Oh, that's what you're doing. Okay. both of the Erebor variations. Okay, yeah.
I'd say Erebor, Misty Mountains. I'd say Lorien, but I think it's the type between Lorien and Mordor just because of the Easterlings.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay.
Because I remember when we first started Age of the Ring, like when we were looking like how we wanted to do Mordor, specifically Moloch. I remember us just sitting down, like, and all 3 of us talking about like what we wanted to do for Moloch to make him stand out more from how other mods like did things.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Note, that's something that we did like actively. We would actively compare ourselves to what other people were doing, and just like we're not gonna do that.
We're not gonna do it that way.
Move into another direction.
Why does a Thranduil have elven ears, dude?
Oh.
Too many polys.
Too many polys, huh? Oh, that's too bad.
That's too bad.
That's too
what
bad.
About you, Alan?
After memory patch.
Favorite one was I think 2 Towers. 2 Towers.
Ah, right.
And then I think Harad. That was really fun. That was really fun to watch and see that come together. And
I mean, you worked a lot on the maps for Haradwaith as well.
Yeah,
that was like a big thing.
Yeah, that was fun. And sort of War of the Ring was lightly planned, and so I had a list of Harad maps that we wanted to get through. So kind of just churning through that list was pretty fun. 6.0 was pretty nice too. There was a fun early time there where I was doing like the first overhaul of all the maps and getting everything organized and like retouching age-old maps. Like I remember doing Karok and stuff like that. That was fun, just going back over old stuff and bringing it to life again.
I remember seeing the Karok. I loved that. Oh, I was so happy. like every time you'd post a map, Alex. Sorry, just like I was just so happy. Like oh,
was Iron Foothills your first map back, Alex?
It was.
Yeah.
I was so excited.
I love that map. Yeah, it's so good. It's still.
Kyle and I were literally screaming in voice chat.
He's back. He's back.
Making stuff for us. Yes.
Oh my gosh.
I'm so happy.
Yes, we were ecstatic at that idea.
Because I've always because I've always been a fan of everyone else's work on Revora, you know, like, and whenever all these old people would come back,
you know,
like I started it as a fan of Matthias, you know, and then eventually we worked together, and then all these people started coming, like, oh my god. It's
Yes.
it's
Coming
great.
out of the woodwork.
Yes, that's like the short history of the Age of the Ring team. Like old people coming back,
Yes.
and new people eventually
And then
joining.
new
Must
people,
be
yeah,
done.
and then having all new people learning like all this
Mm.
stuff, and just this group of what a great team! Wow,
That was
Yeah, what a great
what a
team.
great mod!
that's I've got COVID to thank for that, for sort of our lockdown and me being bored
Yeah, really.
and sifting around
Same.
Revora.
Uh-huh.
And
Same.
I remember coming back and sort of making that map and thinking, all right, I'm just I'm not really going to get back into this. I'll make a map or two and
Uh-huh.
lurk on the forums a bit. But I think this is all kind of done. Obviously from working on it years ago.
Uh-huh.
And then it sucked me right in. It was over at that point.
It's all ogre now.
Oh God, I remember you like occasionally you would say like, yeah, I'm gonna do like one more. Yeah, I'll do like one or two, and then
I
I'm out.
can help
Don't
you out.
expect too
Yeah.
much. And I was
Yeah.
like, okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Harry, you need a help with the forbidden pools on a campaign map. Yeah, I'll do
Yes.
that a little bit. Sure.
Yes. How many
That's
did
how
you
they
end
get
up
you.
making? Like, Jesus. Oh,
God,
so many.
countless.
Incredible.
I still remember being in utter disbelief when Laurie just showed up.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I mean, he's the
man.
most
No.
recent. Like, Lori, I love.
By the way, are you watching the stream right now? Because nothing's on screen.
Yeah, no. George
Okay.
isn't sharing anymore.
Okay.
So we're just talking.
Or
Here,
that
I'll
random
put
day
the-
when Natea showed back up.
Yeah. I was starstruck. I was
Yeah.
like, oh,
Oh,
Here we go.
it's
It's
him.
him.
Yeah.
Wait, when who?
Nertea.
Chris.
Oh yes,
Natea, yeah.
yes, that's when he showed up. It was like, hey guys, like, whoa. For people who don't know what we're
Promptly
talking about,
disappeared.
when the leader of the dwarf holds and veteran modder, Age of the Ring, not Age of the Ring modder, veteran BFME modder. Oh no, I only think of BFME as Age of the Ring now anymore.
Same.
That's all I think about. Yeah, when he came and just like say, "Hey guys, you're doing great work," I was like, "Oh my god, I made it!
Thank you.
Thank you! I made it!
Thanks,
You
Dad.
made it.
Thanks, Dad." Yeah,
Wait, who's this?
Natea, the
Oh
Vorpal.
yeah.
yeah.
He was smart enough to leave straight away.
Uh-huh.
Just said hi and then left.
Yep.
I might go back to that
He'd been
thing
here.
that I was working on a couple of years ago. I might finish that up with new stuff. Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, nice.
Might get
Juicy.
in touch and see what he thinks about maybe putting that out.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I'll love it.
Yeah.
Uh,
We'll see. No promises, but something I might look into. Because that was
Mm.
fun. That was fun working on that. I mean, that was really good for learning some coding stuff as well.
Yeah, but now you got to say what it is. You can't just be like this thing.
So I've put essentially all. So I took the dwarf holds, so Nertia's BFME 1 mod, and I essentially was putting all of the Age of the Ring art into that to replace what was in there. And then a couple of other things like replacing some powers that didn't work particularly well, and some music stuff. Yeah, and I was working on that for quite a few weeks, I think, and it turned out pretty well. I never released it. It was just within the team. But yeah, I'll see. I'll make sure Nerty is okay with it, and then maybe I'll see about putting it out.
Yeah, lovely. There's still questions being asked, so I'm just gonna go to the next one. What was the best part of the journey making the mod? Wow. Honestly, it was the team. It was meeting all of you guys and just spending time and just talking and just laughing and just being very angry at things.
Being angry together, being able to rant about things together.
Shared anger is a beautiful thing.
Just
Yeah,
life.
the
just
trauma
Validating. It's
way.
validating to feel angry and frustrated about things and to share that with other people. It's
Yeah.
bonding.
About real life stuff, the stuff that we've talked about, just like
real life stuff. Yeah, because we've all dealt with like some things over the years, of course, as
major
everybody
life
does.
situations,
And we talk about that stuff and just the creative process of everybody relying on each other and like everybody lifting each other up and helping out and that's great. Like I'm gonna miss the hell out of that. Like that was
Yeah.
a lot of fun. But I
that
can
whole-
point to like little things in terms of development, like that I like to make specifically. But overall, it's honestly the experience of working in this very large, like ridiculously large team. There's never been a modding team this big for me. You know, it's massive, for our standards. And just just seeing everybody doing really good stuff, all the talent and all the excitement about other people's talent. You know, the building tension and anxiety of release nights. Like, oh, we're gonna release. Tonight is release
the
nights.
modding
Nobody knows.
the nights of
But
modding
this is the night.
emergencies, you know, like where we would like,
Yeah.
you know, someone would do something and it's like, oh well, I can't go to sleep now. We can't go yet. Like, I mean, literally, even up to the release, like that kind of shit was happening. It's like, oh shit,
Yeah.
like, well, I gotta go see, you know.
Yeah.
Like,
We would get a cool idea, and I would just like stay up 3 a.m. just working on it.
Me getting pulled over because I was speeding home because because of the modding emergency. Me almost getting a speeding ticket. I got away with a warning, luckily, because I was an upstanding citizen.
We've been in voice chat where I was like running over,
Yes!
like running down the street of where I was
home.
living because I gotta get home because I got a mod.
And I don't even remember what the reasons were for those two now, but like it was just like it was because there was so many just those moments, like we just see someone would post something and immediately, like sometimes in the morning I just wake up and did you see what blah 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 posted and showcased it? I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Huh? Like because I mean basically right when I get up in the morning, the first thing I would do is go check the team chat. You know, like every morning I get up and then I go check the community.
It's just been a constant, for the past 3 or 4 years. It's just been a constant every day.
I mean for me,
it's
like
part,
the past
of my routine. See what's going.
Since Shadow and Flame, that's basically been what I've been doing. Yeah, I've just been. I wake up in the morning and well, what's new are we doing in the mod? Did they send me any messages? And then it just got more and more after that.
Wake up, sip my coffee, check Discord.
Yeah, not even that. Sometimes I just roll over a little bit and unplug my phone. Like, okay, time to see.
Yeah, that's me.
Yep.
Yeah, Discord hasn't helped with that.
And eventually,
so just be laying in bed, just scrolling through the mod server to see what's going on.
Yeah.
And then because sleep read that was a thing that you and I, Matthias, would say oh sorry, I slept read that. I didn't actually get to see it all the way. We'd send each other renders and sorry, I was still technically sleeping at that point when I saw it. It's like, yeah, no
sorry
problem.
for saying good job. I only slept saw this. Sleep saw this.
Yes. Yeah. Or I completely miss. There'd be just some times where I just completely forget to respond to someone because I'd responded in my head reading it in the morning.
Oh yeah.
Or before I'm going to bed. And then I just completely forget to respond in general, and I've done this to every person on the team now. I think.
Are you watching my stream, by the way?
No, here I can now though.
Oh my god!
I'm sorry, I didn't realize you were still streaming in. Okay, there we go. We got it back. I was playing some.
So we're now at present day. So a bit of a far cry from Horse Lords and a 3.0 LotR.
Yeah, there we go. It is back up.
Nice.
Man. Oh my god, and immediately you're just met with new voice acting.
Yep.
Just immediately. Wow.
Why did you change the name from Horse Lords to Age of the Ring?
New wife who looked that.
Yeah, people love
I'd simp,
I'd simp too. We all simped. I mean, I remember the night when we first heard when we were going through the auditions. It was
it was wonderful.
Yeah,
it was just incredible.
Talent.
The talent.
Has she seen the model and stuff? Has she seen it in game?
I don't think so. Generally, we don't do that. No.
Yeah.
This is a.
I know we do showcase videos sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes, but generally we don't even link those to the voice actors because a lot of the recent voice actor role is just paid, so it's just a job, and that's all it really is.
Jerry said he sent her the showcase.
Oh, excellent!
Oh,
good.
Great!
That's
good.
awesome. Very good. Well, I hope
Yeah,
she knows that the reception to her voice so far has been overwhelmingly positive.
Yeah. So, question: why did you change the name from Horse Lords to Age of the Ring?
Weapons ready, elves.
Lady throwed me.
Well, it is simple. We went to Arun's house and we beat the shit out of him until he decided that the Horse Swords was a dumb name for a mod, and we changed it to Age of the Ring.
Yeah, that's accurate.
Yeah.
No,
it's just we
It was an Avengers level calamity.
we went. I mean, you can read why on the first article we posted under the Age of the Ring name.
The big news.
Yeah.
The big news, Age of the Ring, the big news,
big one.
the big one. Yeah, the first big one. It was one of the first big ones. Yeah.
Yeah. The couple more April Fool's big ones followed.
Oh boy. Oh yeah. Oh, the children. Yeah, we're gonna talk about the children's holiday activity book eventually.
Yeah.
Gotta talk about that.
Oh, that was fun.
Bring that
We
back
just
up
changed the
again.
name because the mod didn't reflect the Horse Lords. There was a lot more than that. So, brownies versus fudge. Fudge.
Easy. Fudge.
Always.
Yeah, we gotta
Any
go
day.
for fudge. Yeah.
What are your future plans after Age of Ring is finished? I think we kind of covered that. So.
Yeah.
How did you decide on the names for the Gondor fiefdom units?
What is this?
Just went to Aneth Anun, the website, and just looked at what things were.
Yep, and looked at the list of Gondor fiefdoms that were in and then and be like, all right, well, what would be most what is the most uncommon representation? Like, what do most people not really do? And then I guess we went there, or like what can we do differently from what these other mods have done?
Yeah.
So yeah, and then we just went with that.
What spellbook powers are you most proud of?
The
For
Eye of
me,
Sauron.
Eye of Sauron for you. I know. Yeah. That's a great one.
That's the only time you recognize me.
Jesus Christ. Well, do better. So one of my favorite ones is the Erebor treasure / dragon summon. What is it called?
Thor's Horde. That was one of my, because that was a mix. I think that was a mix of both of our ideas. Because I had an idea. Why don't they just summon a big pile of treasure?
Yeah.
And then you're
Why
like,
does the pile of treasure summon a dragon?
and then we're like, bet. And that's what. And then immediately, I think Arun, you just went and coded it.
I remember that night very well. That was one of those big brain nights.
Yep.
Just sitting
big
down,
brain.
thinking we need to think of ideas. Let's go, and we just keep talking
Right.
and talking until
But
the
yeah,
ideas
that
start
shit
coming.
in one time. That was so fucking funny.
Yep.
Yeah.
Big
I
brain.
was like, yeah, this is it.
That was the Hall of Fire too. I mean, that's what I was gonna say. I'm still very proud of the Hall of Fire. I don't know who came. I don't remember which one of us came up with it, but it does. It was great. Too many clicks, but it's still fantastic.
Too many clicks.
I was worried that people were gonna, justifiably worried that people were gonna think you're literally summoning these characters from the Hall of Fire. A lot of people did think that. They probably still do. But I really like the concept of translating that chapter from Fellowship where they're in the Hall of Fire in Rivendell, and it's also vivid. All that wonderful writing into a war combat game where Fingolfin burns people to death.
Fuck yeah, bro. Sets them on fire.
Awesome.
I fucking love it. Come on, people. Because at that point, the reason why people played Dagor as much as they did is because no one else was making first stage content. And then all of a sudden, here we come in, and we're just like, hey, yo, here's Turin Turambar and Fingolfin.
Yeah.
Here you go, have some
You
fun.
can't have them.
Yeah, but you can't actually have them. But yeah.
But now you can.
But here you go. Yeah, you can. Now they're in Age of the Ring. Yeah.
Which heroes' special abilities were the hardest to make work? Oh god, I don't know about that because I don't code. So.
Well, back in 2.0 development, I remember I almost had a breakdown trying to code the last stand power for Haldir. It was a whole day of just trying to get that one power working, and it was. I finally got it, and then it was a nightmare.
There's other coders here, surely.
Yeah.
I think I had a bit of a nightmare. I can't remember why it had to be recoded, but I had to recode Ugluk's ability at one point. His headhunter ability.
Oh no!
And that gave me a bit of ag.
Oh no.
That took me some time.
Yeah, I remember
Because
that
I think that was like a kind of like command trigger thing.
Yes.
And we wanted to give it like AI compatibility and autocast compatibility.
Oh.
So had to recode that and use like the activate module, like special power behaviors and all that, and like try and join all these powers together.
Yeah.
But not through a command button. Yeah, it was just ag.
Wow.
Had issues with some of the adventure factions stuff as well. I probably haven't launched and restarted the game as many times as I did trying to code those factions. Good lord.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was. Oh man.
Yeah, what about
Thing
you,
is, I
Wayne?
never really did a lot of. I never really did a lot of hero stuff for some reason. I ended up working on a lot of like really functional stuff.
Yeah,
Like,
so I guess just code in general then, because
Yeah.
because then Alex, for you next, I would ask, well, what's the hardest map? What was the hardest to make
Yeah.
work for you, Alex? Once
Oh.
Thomas is done.
Yeah, well, because one of the first code, because I didn't really learn how to code until I worked on the Great Company Adventure map. And, like, that was actually kind of my crash course in coding. I knew a little bit from working on AI stuff, and I kind of figured out how to do like the activate module stuff, because like we had to redo so many command triggers because command triggers were a really straightforward and easy way to get like multiple function powers to work, but the AI can't use them, and so that was Dol Guldur's primary like thing in 5.0 is they couldn't use their necromancy ability because it was a command trigger. So like going in and figuring out how to do that and redoing all of that and like just kind of meticulously going through different powers and making them compatible with the AI was like that took a lot of work, but I mean, I think it was well worth it in the end. But like that was a big thing that I did early on, and continued to do up until release. So.
Yeah.
For me,
also the Sanctum.
Oh man.
the same.
Yeah, that affects getting Blessing of Belagur working.
Yeah, that was, and I think did we ever mention the way that used to work early in testing?
I don't even remember. I
can't even remember now.
I don't even remember anymore.
Well, because you remember, like, Blessing of Belagur was fueled by kills you got with the Hasharan.
Oh my god, yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my god, I don't even
Yeah.
remember.
I remember
Early-
that, yes.
Early on in its, but this was before the Hasharan rework we did internally when they got way more roguish. But yeah, early in development, or kind of early in development of the Sanctum stuff specifically, Blessing of Belagur. I don't remember where the idea for a big explosion came from, but early on it was going to be fueled by kills that you got with your Hasharan, and the Sanctum would grow in power the more enemies you killed, and then you could summon this big explosion, and it was yeah. it
was an idea.
It was an idea.
Big brain.
Like it was it did not work that way. It
I
was
barely
really
remember
bad.
that. Oh my god.
Well,
I
like,
think
it
I
wasn't
wiped it
in-
from
I
my
don't-
mind, or I just
I
didn't
don't
read
even
it.
think it. Yeah, I don't think it ever made it to beta. Like I think
No,
that was something
no,
that
it didn't.
we killed in development, but it was. Yeah, I had like. There was a point where like I was like spawning infinite Galadriels that were flying across the map, and like it was just.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Yeah, it was bad. It was really bad. Because basically you had to collect 100 objects that would spawn and teleport to the Sanctum.
Yeah, it needed like 100 kills or something, and that's
Yeah.
mental.
Yeah. And the Sanctum's like experience
God,
bar would
Lagfest.
fill. Yeah. It was so bad. But yeah,
Oh,
glad
the
we didn't do
memory
it that way.
Yeah. All right, Alex. Hardest map.
All of the fortress maps. I think
Every single fortress map.
not
Why?
all of
Why?
them.
Why is it that fortress map? Can we explain? Can you explain to the community why fortress maps are so hard for us to make?
I don't even know. I mean, like, all right. They take a level of detail, I guess. Well, I guess most of the fortress maps are usually some sort of city or some sort of obviously fortress or
Just
some
a
kind of
massive
iconic location.
structure. Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, doing lots of natural sort of terrain maps are quite easy, you know. But having to really sort of build up cities and use lots of props and make it all look good and work in all the detail, that all is hard and takes time. But then just some of the fortress maps are just harder than others for whatever reason. But I think, yeah, the hardest ones were probably maybe Gundabad. I think because I was the most tired at that point. I think I was right at the end of 7 point whatever, and I think we'd finished the campaign, and also that was like half made by Matt already, and then I think Dory had taken it over, but sort of stalled on it, and so I kind of had to wrap that up in I think the span of a week, and that was just ag, but it turned out great. But that was
it did.
Oh yeah,
It's one of my favorites. Yeah,
oh yes.
Umbar was really hard. Partly because of, I mean, hard but enjoyable. I enjoyed that more. But the scale of those props that were made is kind of quite funny and quite odd. And so to kind of keep the idea we had of this Kothon, this like circular harbour, it meant that the map had to be really large and the city had to be really large, and then I had to fill it with lots of stuff. So it was just massively time consuming and then difficult to create enough variety and interest in this big sprawling city map. So I think that map probably has the most objects of any in the mod. It's like 6,000 or something ridiculous.
Wow.
I don't know. The rest were okay. Elven King maybe, but that was nice. That was hard creatively. I think that was hard to find the right.
It's okay because that was
more green.
Yes, us just
more green.
More green. That was the that was always our design basically coming back. She was like, push the green, push it more,
and turned out great. I think trying to find the balance of green and KV, but also
elvish, elvish.
Elvish and man-made, and also you don't see much of it in the films. So there's not much to go off, and it also required the most custom props. There was sort of nothing that I could really use to start to build it. So but
lots of scratch. Yeah,
I don't know. They're all good in their way. I think the hardest thing was War of the Ring, though, and the kind of tedium of going through all of the maps and redoing them all and setting them all up and fixing them for AI and
because you've been
doing everything.
You went through that process twice, really, because you had to do it for 6.2 and then 8.2 again. Absolute trooper.
And almost 3 times, because it was like 6.0 and then 8.0, and then the War of the Ring map had a whole process of a different AI setup and the waypoints.
Yes,
yeah. Oh boy!
Basically, in the span of 8.0, I edited probably every map, which is close to 600 maps.
My God.
Jesus Christ.
I mean, that was a struggle. I mean, getting towards the end of that, I was severely lacking in any motivation to do any edits at all. And then some tester would make some PvP comment, and I was like, no,
because you're just so tired at the end. It's like there'd be. It's like, well, can you?
I think that's been the most liberating thing, like especially towards the end of development, where like changes would be suggested, and you could just say no.
You could just say no.
Yeah.
It's just like, guys, no, we're done, guys.
I don't care.
I'm sorry, we're done. Like, I don't care. Like this is fine.
Especially now, especially now.
This is fine. Like it's just we're done. We don't.
This is by far the best mod you're gonna get for BFM2, quite frankly. And if you want anything else, just do it yourself. That's my position on it.
Yeah.
I should give out a big shout out as well to Bomber and Sappy, who both helped a lot with all of those maps and the farm template stuff, which is really mind numbing.
Definitely.
And you as well, George, with all the waypoint stuff. That was all massive.
when the 6.0 AI rework started and you were here and like one of the main things you were working on was farm templates, I felt so bad because it was just like
Oh,
it was just this giant, just really monotonous project that
it's
like
a
you were returning to work on, and I was just like, oh, there's so many better things you could be working on than this.
Because early Age of the Ring, because a lot of those older maps, like we just did whatever like we knew how to do at that time, and like try to like get the farm plots, and like we didn't really know how a lot of the systems work like to the level that we do now, and so like just lingering issues that just stuck around forever. Just because of the fact that, well, we have the rest, you know, there's just so much that we still need to develop. Like, we'll get there.
yeah. And no, it was fine, and it all, you
It
know,
worked out.
as you say, like there's things that you learn in the process too. And, you know, that like the 6.0 sort of work we did, we ended up having to redo a bit, but that was okay.
Yeah,
that's all part of it.
For the writers of the mod.
Well,
What's your favorite
George?
piece of text / lore that you wrote for the mod?
Well,
I'm lead writer.
oh, are you?
Yeah, I definitely am.
I don't see you have the role on our team server.
No, I guess I don't. Let's see. Favorite piece of text / lore that I wrote for the mod.
Yeah, what is it?
God, I really like the filling in of the hows and whys in Dol Guldur. Like how did the necromancer go forth and corrupt the Greenwood? What did he do in order to corrupt it? Who helped him corrupt it? What type of magic was used to corrupt it? Linking in the Entwives that he potentially kidnapped from the Brownlands, according to a letter that Tolkien wrote. They just took that for being absolutely true, and he took him, to Dol Guldur with him. And the Entwives were known for their botanical abilities, so that kind of fell into place really neatly. Like that makes a lot of sense.
Spreading the corruption throughout the Greenwood, corrupting it
through the waters of the Greenwood, specifically because the waters, of course, feed plant life. Plant life feeds the animals feed the other animals. So,
and what does that tie to? What does that tie to in the story? The Enchanted River. Oh wow!
Exactly. Yes.
Wow.
Yes. The Enchanted River is
like poetry.
Is like
it rhymes.
Yeah, it's like an extension of that. Not necessarily the same thing, but it's an extension of it.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. I like those little articles that we wrote. About Dol Guldur. Let's not talk about that one. I like a lot of the little lore things that I wrote for Haradwaith. As far as I ended up finishing those, there's a lot that I was going to do, and I just didn't have the will to do because I was also working on an actual novel at the time, and it's kind of hard to divide your attention between what to me felt like really serious fiction writing and filling in Tolkien gaps. It's not the same thing, I take it very seriously, but it's God, like writing about Barodapan sailing down the Nafarad River and trying to evoke a heart of darkness and all that stuff. It's a fun exercise, but I had to finish an actual novel, so I just stopped. It's a lot of work, these things take so much time, all the editing and stuff. So I don't know, this is like my favorite subject to talk about, so I'm gonna try to wrap this up, keep it a little bit brief. I really like the Dol Guldur and Woodland Realm articles. The Woodland Realm articles where we kind of expand on the Celtic influence, the Woodmen, the Beornings, the White Stag, just kind of pulling from all of these relatively obscure references in Tolkien and into things that likely inspired Tolkien, and just like piecing these together in order to form a greater thematic background themes to what you're writing. I really think that this kind of thinking really helped inform just the identity of the factions, and really helps them feel like their own thing, because you might not be consciously aware of every individual little reference. You might not notice all the voice lines referring to a certain thing, the lore string referring to certain things, but your brain notices these.
Well done.
There you go.
Watch your
Thank
brain,
you.
Derek.
You knew I was circling back to
Of
it.
course,
Yes,
of course.
of
I was
course.
waiting.
Yeah.
I mean, if you could go into writing, those like the campaign mission plans.
Oh yeah.
Great company, Helm's Deep. I mean, they're marvels of writing. Like Hornberg, I know some members of the community might not agree, but the segment where you're just going around exploring the fortress, talking to people,
At the
building
beginning.
tension.
Yeah. You're just building up tension.
That's
Like,
excellent writing.
like that's
Yeah, you got even for like these gameplay missions. Yes, you have to keep in mind like certain rules of fiction, and just like how things work in text. So if you just launch into the battle of Helm's Deep and like, oh, the elves are here and now we're gonna fight,
Yeah.
What?
you're missing out on half the story.
You're
'Cause
missing
half
out
the
on story. We
Yeah.
can't tell a lot of the story in cutscenes and cinematics because that's just not the way the game is. We have to tell it through gameplay.
Yeah, because as a player, you have a whole collection of reference points in other media where you know that this battle is going to be very brutal, and you also know that when video games or movies spend a lot of time like preambling this type of large event, that event is going to be fucking brutal, because that always happens in media, right? It's the really important build up to create the tension. So if like the reason why I was adamant about having that is because I really wanted to build the tension.
Yeah.
Because even
Because
if we're
that's what
not
we
able
need.
to make, at the time we might not be able to make Helm's Deep as impressive as we wanted to make it, which I think we did in the end, but at the time it wasn't certain because we hadn't done it yet. I wanted to make it feel that way by ramping up the tension early on. Plus, it's a great way to showcase Helm's Deep and actually walk around it and give people that that sense of Lord of the Rings, that Tolkien feeling of actually being in that place and walking around. I know it's an RTS game, but I am really immersed in some of these missions.
Yeah. Well, that's because that's the
It
thing.
really
you know?
feels
We-
like I'm there. That's why I love in terms of writing, I really love. This is like a controversial mission. I know that, but I really love the Dead Marshes, the Taming of Smeagol mission. Some people really love it, others really hate it. There's been very contrasting opinions on this. I love it, because mostly because of the Sinda spirit that we introduce in that as a vehicle to provide some more context, some historical clues, about what happened in that place. So you're not just running through a marsh, but you're actually there's some implications.
There's a reason to it. Yeah, you've got an objective apart from just escape from the marshes.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're inserting a piece of Tolkien lore that people will love.
Yeah.
There's fans. People love this second age kind of stuff. The story of Arthur, and now he's in the campaign, and he's following around Frodo Baggins.
Yeah.
And he talks to Frodo.
Yeah. That is a good point. I don't often think about those plans as like pieces of writing because it's so practical, right? But they absolutely are. They are very deliberate. Like we discussed and built these plans very deliberately over many months. Just
I think you can extend it further. I mean, this power itself. So writing, you have to write powers and abilities and upgrades for every single unit as well.
Yeah.
There's a hell of a lot of writing in this.
Yes, there is.
Like, I mean, look at this ability. How cool is this?
I know. He's amazing. Actually, this is a good time because there was one question that I saw someone ask. Why did we decide to switch the Witch King's Fell to Mace he has now? We can answer that quickly since he's on stream.
Oh, well, that was actually a really long and very, very annoying debate that everybody would have different opinions and everybody was at each other's throats.
Yeah, I know. We
Yeah.
had to get together and really think about this.
Yeah. The reason it changed is because the animation set for the flail The movie flail, like the vanilla animation set that
fucking
you
awful.
would have, is terrible. The attacks look okay, but the run looks absolutely terrible. So that's why. Very simple answer. It looks better, and it's less silly. The flail in the movie is dumb. It has an effect, I guess. It does its
They admit
job,
it,
I
yeah. I mean,
guess.
they even
But I was
admit
always
it
dumb.
in the thing that it started getting too big, like in the appendices. If you watch like the Weta interview, and like because Peter
Yeah.
Jackson just wanted it to keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger. It's just one of those. It's just one of those things. It's like, oh, it's super cool. It's a big
Yeah, I
flail.
didn't think so.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think it's just a fucking flail, bro. Like, who cares? Like, he looks fine with the mace. I just want him to ride the horse. That's all I care about.
Yeah.
So,
Because we debated for like, I mean, this was over a couple of days. It wasn't a quick fix like a lot of other things in the mod. Like, we were thinking like just sword alone for a while, and like he was going to be maybe put on just a Nazgul animation set or Mouth of Sauron's.
Yeah.
And then
I
we thought about maybe like a stance system, like Dine Iron Foot and Thorin Oakenshield, having like sword and mace, sword and flail. But then just that sword and flail animation set is not good, and because he spent all his time making like a model like this, and then have it on a shitty animation set where he looks compacted, pretty much. He looks like a box.
That was a big point, yeah. Because we saw that earlier in the stream when we were looking back, like the way his legs like around his pelvis just like they just bend. Like there's not really much we can do to prevent that with just the way the skeleton is. Like no matter, and it's just gonna ruin the model. It's gonna look horrible in game. So
yeah, the option is just to redo the animation set, which I don't think nobody here wants to.
Fuck that! I ain't gonna animate no flail, bro.
That's not possible. No.
Absolutely not.
No.
All right, part 2 of that question. For the artists, what's your favorite model, texture, or visual that you made for the mod? I guess I'll just answer that real quick. I have no idea. I've done too many. It's very hard to choose. I like a lot of the stuff in Dol Guldur. I like a lot of stuff in Radwaith and Woodland Realm, but I've done literally hundreds. I don't know.
At this point, I've done so many as well.
I no longer own any part in the mod.
You've been replaced. Actually, that's not true. Your Corsairs are still in.
Man,
You're what?
Forget about those.
Forget about the Corsairs. Oh,
I never redid them.
You could have. That's one model you could have fucking done. For sure. I would have never even looked at it and said anything.
we talked about making new Corsair models, but then it just turned into what's the point? So instead, it was just we rigged up a banner carrier that's holding a sword like a scimitar.
Yeah,
That's about it. That's fine.
Well, there's. I mean, Alex, you've done art. What is your favorite map you've done?
Oh, I couldn't really pick one.
I know, right?
See, it's just so much.
There are way too many.
Like I can't even pick like a favorite that
Okay.
I have out of you. Like I can't like.
Let's change this question.
Okay.
What is? I'll answer the question. I'll say what is my favorite thing that you guys did.
Oh God, I don't even. That's the thing. Like I was about to say, like I don't even know that because I like everything.
Yeah, I can answer that. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
All right. My favorite thing that you did, Kyle. Let's see.
Oh.
God. Even that. I mean, that's very hard. Of course, I know.
Shall I go? Shall I go? I've got answers.
Oh well, I just got my answer. The recent Dunedain Ranger rework.
Yeah.
That's it. Okay, so for Arun, favorite thing that you've done. I mean, I know a lot of it's been replaced at this point, but
even then,
no, actually, a lot of it hasn't been. I really like the Gondor soldier animations.
Yeah.
All that stuff is awesome.
Yeah, wait a minute. Yeah, half like
all
those animations we're seeing right there on those soldiers right there. Those are made by you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the amount of animation work that Arun has done for this mod is insane.
Actually, I think those might be made by Laurie.
I think the Spearmen are Laurie, but I think
the Spearmen might be because the Spearmen are on the Laurie and Swordsman.
Right. Okay. Yeah. And the soldiers are.
But the soldiers are definitely Arun's.
Yeah. Okay. Favorite map that Alex made. God. Lost Laden. Fucking love Lost Laden.
Mm.
Last Desert. That's it. That's the red one, right? The red with all the. That's the
That's
one
the
I
one.
mean.
It
There's
is,
so many
it is.
names in this
Red
mod.
and
I
black.
can't remember.
That was the
Red
old.
and black.
That was the old map for Ruin.
Ruined, yeah.
Yeah, that's my favorite map. It's so striking. I love that one. And, you know, there's like 50 other maps that I love. I love the Elven King's Halls, of course. But yeah, of course, yes. But that is my all-time favorite. It's a subtle map, but it's very striking when you play on it. I love it. I love the black and the red contrast. It's so great. All those new textures. It all looks so natural. I love the Azkahar, the shifting sands of
The
Azkahar.
dunes.
That's my favorite one.
Yeah,
That's
that
my
texture,
favorite
like the way the dunes go, that's fucking inspired. Like holy shit, it looks so good, and all the little effects that occur.
That was a lot of fun. Those
are great. Okay, so then we have Thomas. My favorite thing that you made in terms of art, right? I could just say the whole AI system, but I won't, because that's. I mean, it's art, you know, but it's not visual.
Yeah.
I
haven't made that much.
No, I know, but I'm trying to give the correct answer here. Rosari.
Yes.
Rosari is the best one. It's also the last one, I think, that you did.
Yeah, that was the last thing.
Yeah, so you've constantly improved, and that's easily like the best thing you did. Yeah, it's great. All right, next person.
Yeah, I'll go. So Matthias,
Yes.
I think you probably know my favourite model from you, Mr. Mog himself, Goth Mog.
Really?
Yes. Yes.
Seriously?
I was after that. I was after that model for a while, and I hounded you.
Yeah.
And yeah, I really like that model.
Even meeting in person, that was
Indeed, yeah. I literally asked him in person. The look he gave me.
Yeah. Really give you a look.
He said to me, "I can't believe you've asked me that."
I can't believe you asked me that.
You just found me.
Well, no, I find it my time. It was a couple of hours into the meeting, and I just said, "So, Matthias, how about that Gothmog model?"
Oh my god! Imagine just a community member coming in, like they'll just come across you one day, and they'll just ask you, "Hey, so why didn't you redo, like I don't know, whatever?
Why did you do Return of the King?
Why did you do Return of the King?
Why did you do? Why did you do Return of the King?" You're just like, "What the fuck? How could you?" Oh my
I remember when you asked me, I was like, "Oh, this guy! Like, we're not modeling right now. We're drinking beers."
He broke my heart, so I thought I'd get my own back. He told me I wasn't lead writer anymore, so fuck
That's
you.
right, I did, yeah. But you know, I made Gothmog after that. So.
He did, and I'm sorry. So it'll work out in the end.
Indeed.
Kyle, great company. I mean that design is wonderful, and the new model and texture is beautiful.
Thank you,
Alex. I think my favorite map to play on, like especially like beta testing, was Ifalafa. I really like that map.
Love that one.
Really like that map. And Thomas.
Sorry, fun
go ahead.
fact about that one. I just was in a fever dream of that map, and I think I pushed it out in about 24 hours.
Wow.
And I don't know what it was, but I was just hooked on it, or it was easy, and I was just like up all night, just pushing that one out. I couldn't stop.
Well, there was a big push. There was a big push from the testers, and I think from the community that people were getting bored of like Fords of Iron or Glades of Ithilien. Just one, and especially like from the team as well. We're sick of seeing that just being played all the time
on the tournaments. Yeah.
So it was just a really targeted effort of getting just a competitive 1v1 map to play on. And yeah, I think you nailed it.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Thomas. Dragon Knights. It's got to be. Yeah. First model, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was my first one. Wow. My first complete one.
What a start.
Yeah. I already want to redo it, but I'm not going to.
Don't do it.
Yeah, it's a trap. Don't do it.
The Modman curse.
It is a trap. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is.
And then Arun, like these animations, the E-sling animations, just lovely, lovely stuff.
Alright.
I think I can go. I think I know now. Matthias, Aragorn. Of course. The final
right. Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
LSR. You know, just the amount of time that we spent just like, you know, sitting like looking just once again, the most recent, you know, just once again looking at it, like all those references again and just like just going over like, you know, one of our favorite characters, you know.
Uh-huh.
Definitely. Yeah. So Aragorn. Alex, it has to be Halls the Elven King. You know, for at least for most favorite. However, I would say White Pillar is a very fantastic map, and through a lot of my Harad playthroughs, it was my favorite go-to. I love that map. I loved the visual. I love the color of it. I loved, like, you know.
Which one? Sorry, I was
the White Pillar.
Oh, yeah, great.
Yeah, White Pillar. I love that map. Thomas, art Rosari, but voice. Oh, Karanach.
Oh yeah.
Oh, dude. He sounds amazing. The Rune Dragon. Yeah, he sounds amazing.
Thank you.
He sounds amazing. George, you made a portrait at one point, and I'm pretty sure that one's still pretty sure it's still in the mod. Silgothmog.
Mr. Mog.
Mr.
I made
Mog.
Mr. Mog.
You
I made
did?
the Wildman,
the war veteran, yeah.
and Neslin.
You did, yeah. And Arun, fire effects, because I know how much you wanted that, how much effort you put into it, and how good it looks now, and how like just like that little detail. Because we talked about that the other day. Just the little details in Age of the Ring, like that's exactly like even from the get go, like that's what you were doing. You know, like all the stuff with the animations. You know,
Burning Death, the camera shake when cavalry units trample.
Yeah, when cavalry charge, you know, they cheer, and it's all faction specific now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's all like it's all there.
This motherfucker, he's holding a book. So cool.
So yeah, that'll be mine.
Okay.
Okay. Oh no, you go.
Oh, you want to go ahead? Go ahead. Go ahead.
All right. I will say, I think Arun. I mean, lots of little subtle touches that all add up to a lot. But I do really like the phalanx formation there. Thomas, I think actually maybe the woodsman voice that you did.
Oh, thank you. That was my first one.
Yeah, but
something really
cozy and
Cool.
really nice about that one.
Well, thank you.
Let me think. Kyle, maybe the Sam rework you did.
Oh, Sam.
Oh
yeah.
Was it 7.0?
I
campaign.
I think it's for
Was it
this.
8.0?
I think no, it's 8.0.
Yeah.
Yeah, Frodo
yeah,
and Sam
yeah,
are
yeah.
8.0. Yeah.
Yep.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Oh, look at these. I mean, Arthurdine is just fantastic. I love the art for this faction.
It, doesn't it? Matthias, lots of beautiful structure art. I think if I had to pick a unit, maybe
Don't have to.
No, maybe the Lasoth,
Oh,
or maybe the Mahud. It's got a really nice silhouette and kind of nailed that look.
thanks. Sure.
And George, I think the work you and Kyle did with the adventure faction, the Thelian faction, or the voice that you did for Gorg.
My finest smoke.
Yeah.
Because George, you deserve a lot of
quality,
kudos for that
high
map,
class.
honestly. Because I mean, just writing that faction plan, you know, I mean, that was art.
Should we? What's the story behind that? What happened? What happened there?
What the adventure Thelian? Adventure
Thelian.
Thelian. I messaged you one evening like, hey, like, what did I say? Like, hey George, like.
Hold on, let me.
Yeah.
Let me dig it up. So I was on placement at the time, and it was a pretty shitty hospital. I wasn't having that great of a time, and personal life stuff wasn't too great either. And then I get a message from Mr. Dundan man.
Yeah. Doesn't matter what Doondan, what area of Middle Earth they're from, you know.
I'm so sorry because we went back and forth for a while about stuff.
Yes, we did.
Oh god, that old Host of the West ability plan.
Yeah, there's so much
Do you
iteration.
remember the tent?
Yeah.
The tent.
It was
you just
originally going to be a tent.
Recruit all of the
All the
individual
heroes were permanent. You could recruit every single hero. You'd be able to recruit like units from Rohan and like base Gondor, and then like you coded the whole fucking thing. You coded that.
3 or 4 days.
And then we just completely scrapped it to what it is now.
Okay. So the message. So it was at the very end of November, and I get a message. George, I have a stupid idea forming in my head. Adventure Athelion. Hit me.
Yes.
And so the plan was, so initially we were going to have the Forbidden Pool as a central hub for the faction with upgradable build plots around it. So like almost like faction expansion plots, and that would be your structure. So build plots were kind of a plan from the start.
Yeah.
And I said, I'll let the ideas stew for a bit, and then I'll write a couple of things down. And we had like a whole adventure doc at the time because we'd gone through Angmar, Arthedain, and Doreen.
You barely hesitated. You barely hesitated. Like right after that, you started jotting down ideas. We both just.
I said that at 5 to 9, and then about 40 minutes later, I posted like a plan with all the structures, a couple of the units already. The Pathfinder was there already.
Yeah. The Pathfinder. That was such a good idea.
Because we were kind of thinking, so we were either going to have the Forbidden Pool as the central hub, or have a Head of the Noon map.
A Head of the Noon map.
Yeah, and that just wasn't really feasible with all the mapping stuff that was going on for Alex and the other mappers.
Yeah.
And kind of the scale of the faction as well. So then we figured, well. And the Forbidden Pool wasn't going to really work as a central hub either because the art wasn't really there, and it's not something you can really convert into a structure properly. So then we kind of regathered thoughts and instead turned it into like a B31 camp build plot map, and then after that it was kind of smooth sailing from then. And so that was on the 30th of November. I think we probably had the whole faction coded by about. Within 5 days after that, beginning of December,
and the whole time as you were gone,
Goblin mode with coding and art stuff.
Yep. I just shout out all those structure models. Like,
medical placement.
Just like
fuck it, I've got Athelion to code.
Just like that, I relearned like how to add on like normal maps on the structures and everything, and I just went and I just made.
Yeah, but that was some of the first. What was the last structure art you did before?
I mean, I exported every single. At least every build up. I think I exported every single structure model for Woodland Realm. So I had to, I had to know how to do that then. But otherwise, like what I made, I don't think there's really much of any like structure models that have gotten into the mod since that.
Nope.
So yeah, I had to know how to do it in ages because we don't use normal maps for units because that's a performance nightmare waiting to happen. And even then, this is an early version of DirectX anyways. So like how it renders out normal maps, like anyways. But yeah, fun time.
I remember that night very well. I was on vacation and then I woke up, checked my Discord. Adventure Athelion, huh? All right. Well,
I'm not. Yeah, you said
I want nothing to do with it. Have fun.
You gave us some feedback, and you said, I'm not doing anything, and we're like, yeah, that's fine. And I knew that. Yeah. The only way this is happening is if I do already.
Yeah. It wasn't. I didn't want to. I thought it was a great idea immediately. Of course, it was a great idea. It was clean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just it was because Rune was happening. It was right in the development, and you guys were developing the Rune structures and stuff like that. Which here we are, by the way. So yeah,
I think we learnt kind of from with each adventure map that we did, kind of the scale of what's doable, what's a sensible kind of scale for a plan,
Yeah.
and
I mean,
what's fun as well.
on that note, Rune is not a sensible skill for an adventure faction plan.
So Rune took the longest, didn't it? So Rune,
Yeah.
It's the
Thomas,
biggest.
what happened with Rune?
Okay, so Rune was actually in development for like going on a year and a half to some degree, because Rune was originally a submod that I was working on that ended up getting adapted into an adventure map. Really kind of a year on into it. Like, it was an idea that I was kicking on as developing separately. It was going to be like a Mordor Rune toggle. And by the way, don't do toggle factions. They're terrible. Just don't do it. Just say no.
I know, because everyone like, oh, why can't you do like that with what do they
It's
want?
limited.
Gundabad? Yeah, the Gundabad. Yeah, it's limited.
There are benefits, but then there are a lot of cons with it, and I do think the disadvantages outweigh the positives.
I agree. Like, the biggest one is that AI is horrible. Like,
Well, hang on. We have a ton of questions to go through. Let's not get off track.
okay.
Tell us about Rune.
It's true.
Do what?
Tell us
us
about
about
Rune.
Rune, yes. So it was a submod initially, and then
Yeah, it was a submod initially that I kind of had the idea for. That was kind of when Matthias started working on all that like kind of random extra stuff that we were talking about. That was still when we were gonna have hidden units.
Random extras.
And yeah, that was when like the art for Varus was made, and that was like I was talking about. It was gonna be a submod called Rise of Rune, which is really funny because then there was that Rise of Harad submod for 8-Iron or something that happened later. I was just like, oh shit. I didn't care that much, but it proved too big for me, especially with the skill set that I have at the time. And honestly, I think Adventure Rune is way better than what I would have done on my own. But there was kind of a decision that had to be made where it's like, all right, I remember talking to you, Matthias, like, if this project is going to be brought into the Age of the Ring family of products, then there's got to be a certain level of oversight that I have to have on this.
Yes.
And I was just like, okay, let's do it. So then my plans started getting adapted into an adventure map. There were a lot of things that were cut. There were a few things that were added. Your big contribution was what you wanted to do with the siege engines, like with the structure. Like, you did the structure art, you did a good bit of the unit art, but like in terms of Adventure Rune, the first thing you said is we have to have, like, the siege engines have to be a big focus of the faction, because that's what's going to make it stand out and unique. And congratulations, we did it. So
Yeah, well done.
yeah. So that got adapted. I started making plans for way too many heroes and ended up making almost all of them. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
All very unique as well.
Yeah. They're all very weird.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Perfectly weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is way too big. I was despairing. I was just like crying.
Oh man.
I was like, I can't do more.
There was nights.
I can't
when
do more.
you were straight despairing because because you've been at the end of your rope for.
Oh yeah.
you had been at the end of your rope for a while.
2 years
for a long time. Yeah. I mean, since we started developing Age of the Ring. Yeah.
Yeah, because yes, basically.
Yeah.
So sometimes you find little bits of extra rope though.
Yeah, somewhere, somehow.
And then you're like, should I hang myself with this? Or should
I
use it to keep going?
Or should I pull myself up with this?
Yeah.
Pull myself up by this rope. Yeah.
Yeah.
By the bootstraps.
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 Oh, bootstraps. But yeah. Oh man.
Yeah, I was despairing about this, but this is for me. This is one of those things where, like, well, all right, just if you look at the stables, that's when I just like blanked, like, oh no, and I just like sat down and I just like kind of like arranged parts, like, okay, I guess we'll do this.
Yeah,
it just happened.
There it is. Like,
yeah,
you can even tell the alpha channel on the bib, the alpha channel, like the transparent edge on the bib is sloppy as hell because I ran out of patience. I just like blotched it. So there you go. There it is. I mean, to me, it looks sloppy. I don't know. It might look fine, but I can see that I kind of rushed it.
I don't think people will notice.
No,
they will now.
Definitely now.
But then they'll forget.
Yeah.
Thomas, I just realized, because since we segued so hard, what was your favorite for each? I'm sorry, we kind of went on a tangent about like adventure factions.
I'm a little bit worried. I'm a little bit worried that I'm going to attribute the model to the wrong person because I'm not very good at remembering who did what. But
man, look at these dudes. So fucking cool.
I'm glad you like them. They're a lot of fun. I have like pages of sketches of like their initial design too. I'll have to show you guys that at some point. But
it was fun as well, kind of seeing your journey through like 3D modding as well. Because I remember like some of the old like
I didn't even think about fucking animations. I didn't even think about the Karad. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I completely forgot about the Karad.
Back on track. We have so many questions coming.
Yep. Cool. Let's see. I think my favorite model, Kyle, that you did might be the new Gandalf the Grey. I think that you did that one.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah, I love that model.
Well,
it's tied. It's tied very closely to the Heirloom Rangers. Actually, are one of my favorite.
You mentioned that recently, and I'm glad because I love that. Because God, no, I gotta stop. No, we can talk about that another day. I was about to go on the tangent again. Yeah, well, thank you.
Yeah, I really love those. Those were a big part of inspiring Adventure Endurance folk.
Awesome.
Let's see, Matthias. You've done so much freaking crap that it's just like I feel like I'm gonna name something and then immediately forget something else. But let's see. I think the Hasharan are my favorite one that you've done.
Kyle did those.
Oh.
I'm just kidding. No, I didn't.
No, take advantage of my terrible memory. No, how could you?
I was about to do those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I begged you to do those.
I had no idea what the fuck to do.
Yeah, I absolutely love those guys. They're such just like a classic fantasy trope, and they're just really awesome.
Thanks.
Yeah. Arun, your fire arrow effects were actually one of the first things I noticed about Age of the Ring the first time I played it way back when, and I'm just like, oh, this is something different. And I was really glad that was mentioned because that, like, I'd never seen fire arrows done that way, and I thought they just looked incredible. So yeah, that's definitely my favorite thing. And then Alex, my favorite map you've done is Sands of Azki here. That if I'm saying that right, that map blew me away. That was one that I was like getting on voice chat with my friends and showing them, just like, oh my god, look at this map, and like, just, look at the dunes. Like it was so good. It just really wowed me. So yeah, that's my favorite. And then I guess like if you lump in kind of like just the creative contributions, like with you, George, like Arthedain and Angmar are like just there's such a cool two sides of the same coin, and like.
Oh, thanks, man.
Yeah, I think you're like they would not have been as good as they are if not for your creative contributions to those.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. So yeah.
Right. So, if an important company gave you the possibility to create a TV series centered around Harad or Rune or both, with the same freedom and respect you had to create the lore for Age of Ring, would you be interested in directing it? No, but I'd be interested in writing it. For sure. But I'm not a director, so I can't do that. But
Bro,
yeah,
writing
writing
it. At me with that proposition, I'd have an anxiety attack.
Yeah, same.
Oh hell no!
Cool,
I'm ready. I'm ready to
cool,
do
though.
that.
That'd be cool though. Yeah, work on it in some creative way. Yeah.
If I'm allowed to make a lot of money doing something really fun with like creative freedom, nah, fuck that. Yes, of course. Sounds great.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, next question. I mean, I'm assuming everybody says yes to this. I mean, obviously, right? If you can work on something really cool, you say yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. I'd imagine that, as in many long-term software projects, there have been periods of little motivation and lethargy. Is that how you pronounce it in English? Lethargy?
Lethargy.
Lethargy, okay.
Yeah.
Better in Dutch. Towards it. What kept the team going during those times? Coke.
Lots and lots of coke.
Weed in your case, absolutely. Yeah.
Bacardi.
Alcohol.
Can I say that on stream? Jesus Christ, you smoke so much weed.
Lots of Bacardi.
Bacardi and Coke, yeah.
Yep.
Just constant jerking off. No.
Oh my god!
Like, wow. I did not expect that.
And just the power cries. Yeah, just the power
Power
cries.
cries.
Yeah, a little power cry.
Yeah, the power cries.
Yeah.
And just
Gotta give it
just
up.
discipline. Just reminding yourself that other people are still counting on your contribution.
You better do it.
I
So you
think
got to do it.
being able to like go into voice chat with the rest of your team and
Yes.
it's a good reminder that you're in it together and you've got other people counting on you
We're
as
all
well.
real people. We're not just text.
We're not just text. We've got people.
Yeah.
We've got people looking out for you and counting on your contributions as well.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's easy to talk. I mean, I don't know how much you want to go into it, but for 6.0 we had a little leak problem.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And just
Which
being
was all-
able to get into voice chat about that and just like talk about it and like figure out what we're
Yeah,
gonna do.
because I was pissed. Because I was absolutely
very
pissed.
worried.
We were betrayed.
That was-
Yeah, like it was.
That was
it
my
sucked.
first medical placement. I remember coming back. I was on the bus back and like seeing that stuff going down. I was like, shit.
It
And
felt awful.
I kind of called. I went into voice chat with you on the bus, on my phone, like to talk about that stuff because that was really bad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that wasn't fun.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, being able to talk about like all the just all the stuff, talk about things. Yeah, it was really motivating and help us like keep working. Like usually when we got like if someone like was in the chat and if we were sitting in a voice chat, usually like we'd get motivated to a point like we're like, all right, I guess we should work on the mod now. Like we were like if we were like just sitting and talking. And,
Kyle, the two people in my life that I speak most to is my wife and you. Like seriously, like I talk to you every single day, almost
every single day.
for hours.
Every single day.
We're just talking about stuff. Yeah.
Just literally.
But that shit keeps me motivated as well because I don't want to disappoint you. I don't want to be like, now you have to make all this shit. I don't want to put that on you. That's awful. No, you can't. You can't do that. No, you just can't. You just have to do it. If you don't want to do it, tough shit. You got to do it anyway. Sorry, you just have to do it.
Yeah.
Someone asked what the leak was. Yeah, a former member of the team got a little bit too friendly with some community
Macedonian
troublemakers.
fake news dealer.
Yeah, a band of community troublemakers that have been making trouble for years, and they're still at it. There was a guy on our team, a bit of an idiot, and he decided that he needed to get very friendly with these people, and he leaked a screenshot of our Erebor rework with the era toggle that we released in 6.0.
Yeah,
which
we wanted to keep
which was a big secret that we didn't want anybody to know about.
Which was a horrible idea. Now that we know, we'll never do that.
No secrets anymore. Which is why we just said no Return of the King.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Seriously.
So. Yeah, that's all that. I'm not going to go into it any further, but yeah, that was a thing.
Yeah.
So what made you decide to add Kand to Mordor alongside Rune rather than bunching it up with Heratwaith? Because lore-wise, the Wayne Riders, who were of Kand, weren't they? Wayne Riders of Kand? I can't remember all this crap.
Well, I don't know. I don't even remember.
There were two different groups of Wayne Riders. There was like the first group of Wayne Riders and the second group of Wayne Riders. The first group were from Kand, and the second one were the Easterlings under orders from Dol
Okay, so the ones from Kand attacked Rovanion, right?
Yes.
Gondor in Rovanion at the time.
I think so.
I'm pretty sure they attacked what was then Rovanion, but it was also like part of the Gondorian like territory.
Mm-hmm.
So that means that they went up and came from the east, rather than went down and came from the south. So that's why.
Also,
they were more east centric.
From a development standpoint too, everything was in Mordor at the beginning. Like all the Evilmen partitions were in Mordor at the beginning.
Yep. Yeah, the Kandishmen have always been in Eastling encampment or garrison.
Yeah.
Whereas the Haradrim were always a separate entity.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
In Mordor.
Next question: who paid for all those voice actors? Okay, so not all of them were paid. Later on, when we started making, getting a decent amount of monthly Patreon funds. We started to need more specialists like voice acting. That's when we started spending money. So we would just pay people fees. So it was paid by people that contribute to our Patreon.
Yep.
Some out of pocket stuff here and there as well. I have spent money on this sometimes when necessary because I want to keep things moving. Still have some other people. So that yeah. When we were working on like the Harad Wraith voice acting, we decided that Harad Wraith and 7.0 voice acting, we decided that we couldn't really wait for like good volunteers to show up anymore. So we started just paying people. We bundled up all the money that we had, and we spent basically everything on voice
Basically
acting.
all of it. Basically all of it. Yeah. So
A
that we
bunch of
could get the
models were
best voice
purchased
acting
as
we could.
well.
Yep. That's when we start. Yeah, because like Spiders and Dogaldor. It was about Dogaldor time. Yeah. The 5.0 when we really started going ham on trying to find more voice acting because we realized we couldn't just rely on Zathian Trench Dog and
yeah, same 3 or 4 guys.
Yeah. Yeah, we needed more.
Do people near you IRL know about the Age of Ring project, the scale of it, and the big community created, and did it affect your private life, considering how it was time-consuming during those last years? I'll go first. My wife knows about it, of course, you know, because I spend so much time on it. I can't, like, if I don't tell her what I'm doing, it's gonna be really, really weird. What are you doing? I can't say. Don't ask me.
Secret.
It's a secret.
It's my secret.
Of course she knows.
Your secret.
Other than that,
word.
I don't really talk about it with people much because it's really hard to explain to most normies, you know, what you're doing. Because people I know are not really big video game people. So, you know, it's kind of difficult to explain that. Did it affect my private life? Yes. Of course, you know, there's sometimes where people want to spend time with me and I simply couldn't because I felt an obligation to work on this project, which is another reason that I'm very glad that it's done, because now I can, you know, spend time with people, some more people again. I spent a long time on this stuff, a lot of time, you know, like hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours, weeks and weeks and weeks. So, you know, yes, of course, it affected my private life. Yeah, that's my answer to that. I'm sure you guys have answers.
Yeah, yeah. My friends are. I've had LAN parties playing this mod with some of my friends. Yeah. My friends know about it and they will play it. Has it affected private life? Yeah. I think. So there was a point. So it was during the adventure map development time. I kind of really kind of trucked myself into coding stuff. And like a day, like, and like I was supposed to be on placement, and sometimes I just spend like my 9 to 5 would be working on the mod pretty much. I neglected time with friends and time studying to just get things as good as they could be on the mod sometimes. I mean, it all worked out in the end, but yeah, yeah, sometimes the mod did consume all other things.
I love that. I love hearing that.
I'm just sitting here nodding. Yeah. Yeah.
Thanks, man.
Yeah. I don't know who wants. Who wants?
If anyone wants to have anything else to contribute to this, then they can.
Yeah. Pretty much everybody I know knows that I work on this.
Yeah, that's basically about the same with me too.
Yeah, because it's like one of my go-to things that I end up talking about because I guess my life is so boring otherwise. But like
most of my friends are gamers and they're a lot of them are Lord of the Rings fans because you know I got the tabletop group as well.
Oh, someone joined.
Who's this?
It's the motherfucker.
The motherfucker.
It's the motherfucker. What's up? Sorry, go ahead, Thomas.
Yeah. Pretty much everybody who knows me knows that I work in this. My dad keeps asking me when it's going to start making money.
My mum said that to me a couple of times.
Yeah. And I'm just like, no. I hate to disappoint you.
Oh no, yeah.
Nah,
that's fun.
He's cool. He's cool about it. He really likes. He has no connection to video games, but he likes seeing the stuff that I work on.
Must
but
be nice.
Yeah, I introduced one of my neighbors to it. I had a neighbor who was like a big Age of Empires fan, and I like
love that.
told him about it. And then he went and downloaded it and never spoke to me again. So I think it might have.
Great,
might have-
Steed.
Yeah.
God,
Might have looked. I don't know. I don't know what happened there, but yeah, I have a really obsessive personality, so like I have definitely had times in my working on this that I've spent way too much time working on, especially in the early days of the AI, when I would run AI tests for like 14 to 16 hours a day sometimes, where like or 12 hours a day. I would like basically start them in the morning and just constantly check my computer to like see what the AI was doing, and like it would be like one of those things where you make a tweak and then you let the game run for like 45 minutes.
Yeah.
And I kind of tethered myself to it in a way that probably wasn't very healthy, but yeah, there's definitely been times where I've let it get in the way of like spending time with friends and loved ones, but that's kind of why I'm glad to be done. So
I mean, you
yeah.
gotta, you know.
Yeah.
I would say the same for me. Most of my friends know about it. I've had LAN parties as well, just like George. And I've introduced a lot of people to it. As for personal life, oh yeah, I've spent so much time on this fucking project. Yeah, like basically what everyone said, you know, just like choosing to work on this over like, you know, hanging out or going out and doing something, just work. Yeah, it's absolved a lot of time that I don't know.
Yeah.
A lot of time.
That's how you make this, though. That's how you make something.
Yeah, that's what you got to do. You know, it's a
You
lot of effort
You gotta
that goes into
sacrifice
it.
stuff.
Especially with the quality that we strove for. You know, like
if you're going to go for something of this scale and this quality, there are going to be sacrifices.
Yep.
You've got limited time.
Yep.
Yeah.
Alex, I'm sure it's the same story for you. I mean,
Yeah, pretty much. My girlfriend knows, and a couple of odd friends, but mostly people don't really wouldn't really get it. And it's been nice. You know, I try and strike a balance between doing this stuff and doing other fun things, and
of course, yeah.
You know, trying to get out of the house and move my butt and do some exercise or whatever. I guess the struggle for me sometimes is like coming from a 9-to-5 job and, you know, doing lots of computer work and sitting down all the time, and then coming home and not wanting to do the same sort of all evening. And,
Yeah.
No. It's also a bit fun. And yeah, I do definitely just throw lots of hours into it when it needs to be, and also when it's fun and enjoyable to do.
So we just got joined by the motherfucker. Indiana Jones is now here. Hello.
What's up, man?
He's by far the coolest member of this team.
Our project manager.
I've always said so.
Yeah, it's not even close either.
No, it's not close.
Party boy. Mr.
Party boy.
Fucking vacation Andy over here. Jesus
Spider
Christ.
Hunter.
Yeah, Spider Hunter. Spider Hunter! Oh, Jesus. Sopa de Macaco himself.
Project manager, indeed. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Hi. All right, next question, because there's a couple more to go. This series has been going on for 3 hours. Last question. Bomber model when? All right, are you sitting down? I'm gonna reveal something. When we were developing Erebor, one of the powers initially was going to be summoning remaining members of Thorin's company. So, you know, I sat down, I made Bomber, I made Oin.
No, you mean Bofer. Wait, because wait.
Oin too.
Wait, you didn't make Bomber. Did you make Bomber?
I said No, I said Oin.
You said Bomber as well.
You said
Bomber. I said both. Did I?
You said Bomber or not?
Biffer. Okay. What's the other one? I can't remember these fucking. What's the guy with the weird hat? Yeah, Bofer.
Bofer.
Yeah, I said I made Bofer. I made Biffer, these fucking names, Oin, and I remember very distinctly while I was making Oin, I had a gun pointed to my head, and was about to pull that fucking trigger because I hated it so much. I hated working on these. It was awful. It was the worst thing that I've done up to that point of development. So I just said to the guys, I said, I'm sorry, we can't do this power because I can't make these models unless you guys make the models and they're as good as they need to be. We're not doing this power.
Yeah, and I was just like, no, I don't want to do those fucking. I don't want to do
Now,
those fucking.
the last
models either.
model that I attempted to make was Bomber, and I got about a third of the way before I stopped. And we replaced the power with the Khazad-dûm veterans summon in Erebor.
Which is cooler.
Which is way cooler. Yeah.
Yes.
So that's why.
Yep.
Okay, so it's the Witch King flail question. We've already answered that. Any plans on balancing the adventure factions further? I know they're kind of just a fun thing, but Athelion feels particularly overpowered due largely to the resource production. Don't have to spread out at all to make max income. That said, I love the thought you guys put into them.
Nope.
Go ahead.
Nope.
Okay, yeah, no. I'm gonna say
Absolutely
no.
not.
Nope.
Absolutely not. They're done.
Yep. They're done.
Yep.
They're done.
You're right in saying they're meant as a fun thing. And if they are fun, which I think they are,
Then mission accomplished.
Mission accomplished.
Supposed to be fun. Yeah.
You read my mind, George. You can just finish my fucking sentences. Like you really can. You know exactly
oh,
what
the
you
pipeline.
Those
Mod
are
might be done,
pipeline,
but
yeah,
pipeline's still there.
Yeah, the
Pipeline's
pipes
established.
are connected. So yeah, no, we're just they're
I'm gonna steal your novel idea and I'm gonna write it myself. Fuck you.
my novel idea.
Yes.
You don't even know what it is.
Yes, I do. I'm
I
connected.
told you.
No.
Oh
but
yeah, of course you know.
I
You're
never
connected.
did.
God damn it.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what that is.
Downloading.
God damn it. Yeah. Oh, I don't have a firewall. All right. No, we're not gonna do that because they are not designed as competitive factions. They're designed as fun things.
They
So
haven't been put through
they're
the
just fun.
stringent balance testing
No.
that the
Yeah.
regular factions have, nor will they, because fuck
They
that.
don't-
It's supposed to be fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like, and how much more do you want us to do?
I'll be honest. So I started those factions to kind of get away from all the balance testing and that because I was
Yeah.
getting sick of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
It wears you down.
It's
yeah,
necessary,
okay.
but it's also
Yeah,
shameful.
balance
not fun.
testing is a nightmare. It's a fucking nightmare. Okay,
Yeah.
it's a nightmare to have to go through these
I'm
reports.
not
sometimes.
doing that.
Yeah, so when
for
you
these things that I
fuckers
wrote
come
for fun.
in, you fuckers come in on like the first day of release, and you're like, I don't really feel like this is balanced. You shut the fuck up. We've been testing these for a year. You don't know shit. You've played 2 games.
Nearly 2
Play more
years.
games.
You played
A year
Lord
and
of
a
the
half
Ring
at
for
least.
how long? How long has the release been out? Oh, I don't like it. It's not the same. Go play it more. When?
Meh.
Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, I got that out there.
Okay.
It sounds
yeah.
okay.
Okay, yeah, sorry. I'm sorry.
Maybe I already asked ages ago if a new BFME based on modern engine would be developed, and if you would have been approached by EA in a Tolkien estate to work on it, would you take the job, and under what conditions besides money and in terms of creative freedom? No. That's not what I want to do with my life.
No. Nope.
Yeah,
Nope.
bro, this chapter in my life is done, bro.
It's dunzo. Yeah, nah, dunzo.
I'm a head out.
Yeah.
Even ages ago. I mean, even if they asked me before, I don't even think so. I
There's
don't
some
want to
questions on the stream too. We'll get to that after these. Final question. Now that you have finished the mod, do you find your creative energy going entirely in different directions, or is there still BFME related ideas that you have accepted you won't implement in Age of the Ring? An implication in this question is, but you might implement it somewhere else. For me, no. I have ideas for things that you could do, but they're just ideas that are fun to talk about. I am intimately familiar with the reality of implementing all these things.
Of these
and
ideas, of not being of the idea guy. Yeah, everyone wants to be an idea guy.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it's like
No one wants to be a coder guy.
Especially to the level that we do with voice acting effects.
That's the problem. Anything we do after this is going to be measured to that standard, and that's a standard that I simply don't want to aim for. anymore because it's too much work.
Yeah.
So for me, yes, but no.
Yes and no.
I have a feeling that goes for everybody here.
Yeah.
Bro, I can't mod again, bro. That shit stresses me the fuck out.
Hi devs. First, I want to say that it's been having a blast on the mod. Thank you. I've been so excited for 8.0 and it's here.
Hell
yes. My question: do y'all still plan on releasing a guide on how to find and add the hidden/extra units to the game's base factions? I'd like to try and add as many as I can to expand the factions even more. Much love.
I can explain this. So there aren't really hidden units anymore. They're all somewhere in the mod.
Except for one, apparently. But I don't know.
Except for one, I don't know what Godman's talking about. Mod too big. I'm not going to write a guide because I can't really think of a way of making it generic enough that you can find every single unit in a mod and put in. However, I check out the Third Age modding community server quite a lot, and I'm more than happy to give you a hand if you need help adding a unit. So
I did see that.
ask a question there, and I'll check it out.
Great.
It's not hard, but yeah, I can give you a hand.
Let's see. That's what the Age of Ring wiki is for? No, it's not.
Not for the hidden units.
No, because they're hidden. Which was the hardest character to find voice acting for? Good Lord. I mean, Arthur is here now. Arthur can probably help with that question.
It was probably Karan Lombard.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too.
Yep.
Probably.
Can I just make a point? So I've been seeing people playing Haradwaith for a couple of days. Caravans. So you want to expand them away from your base, otherwise they will not level up.
Yeah. Figure it out, guys. Come on.
I think people miss it. So this button explains that you lose resource production from the caravan if you're nearby structures.
You gotta read. You gotta read those. You gotta read those descriptions. This mod relies on you reading strings or information boxes in this case. Otherwise, you will not understand everything that's going on. Let's see. Yeah, Karan Lombard was very hard to find voice acting for. I think most of Haradwaith was very hard to find voice acting for.
Some of the elves were a nightmare.
Elves, yeah.
I was gonna say trying to find Celeborn.
Celeborn, yeah.
Yeah.
The Galadriel.
Yeah.
The auditions.
The Galadriel. Yeah.
Yeah. I think like in the last stretch, the last week of development, it turns out to be the last week of development. We were looking for a couple more voices for Rune. That was kind of challenging just in terms of the time that we had left. But we have such a massive list of people we can contact now. So
yeah.
What was the reasoning behind giving Battle of the Five Armies and Arthedain a combo well/statue? Was it to make up for nerfing statue leadership, to reduce the number of buildings to design, or something else?
We did it for Dorinian first, didn't we? And then that art was reused for Battle of the Five Armies because it fitted. And I wrote the Arthedain statue as a statue of Elendil initially, but it was just to cut down on structure art needed. Better to
make it easier.
Put both functions into one. Yeah, makes things easier on everybody.
Makes it easier.
Also, just cool.
And it's interesting. Yeah, it's different from other factions.
Yeah. Do you plan to release small versions with bugs/balance regarding 8.0 in the future? Probably one.
Yeah.
We'll probably do an 8.1.
Yep.
And then that's it. Although we have discussed, because most of us in this call are lead devs. I mean, Thomas is not technically lead dev, but that's because the list was getting really long.
Junior core team member, as George called
Yeah. Sure. At this point, it makes no difference.
Nope.
We have discussed just giving the keys, to the whole update thing to our friendly neighborhood, Kamogon, for instance, because he knows how to code, he knows how to compile installers, and he knows how to balance things.
Yeah.
Maybe he will release further balance patches past 8.1. I mean, we're already implementing little changes and fixes for 8.1.
Yep.
Yeah, it's in development right now.
Maybe that's something that him or other people will want to do. But us speaking right now, yeah, come on, yeah, you can have it. Us speaking right now, no. But
yeah, no more
keep the competitive scene alive, way more alive than the 202 competitive scene. That's definitely a goal. I had to say that. I'm sorry. I'm still mad about that delay fix.
That delay fix is fucking bullshit. It's fucking bullshit.
What was the issue with combo battalions? Oof, and on a more recent note, what were the hardest balance changes for 8.0? Right. So, combo battalions, they are very cool. I really like them, but they were impossible to balance, and they couldn't separate. So you sacrifice a unit, basically.
And there were issues as well with like replenishment or something. I can't remember, something to do with like the barding longbowman, which was kind of the straw that broke the camel's back in the end. I can't remember specifics, but there were some bugs with them as well.
Yeah. We basically went through a little development process where we just like started giving up on having certain things that we used to really want, including like the effectiveness of building patrols, because I personally started giving on these things because I really liked all the feedback we got from community in terms of just all the competitive playing, all the tournaments that people were doing. I thought that was really cool, so I thought, well, let's just tailor the mod towards that a little bit more. We have people that can give us suggestions and feedback in the team. We literally have a role of like balance person in our team channel just dedicated to that stuff. So fine, let's just change it then. If it's really gonna make it better, change it. I really didn't want to, but a part of a part of developing a project like this is just accepting the fact that you are sometimes wrong, and that's what it is.
Yeah.
So you got to change
Sometimes
it.
we were wrong,
Sometimes you're wrong. Same for some of those map hazards that we had. Yep. Those are mostly all nerfed.
They're wiped to oblivion.
Oh, my poor map hazard. Oh well.
And, I love those.
I like the idea.
I can understand why people don't and why it doesn't work.
Yeah, exactly. Like I get it. Like for the most part, I understand it. Yeah.
What were the hardest balance changes for 8.0? I mean, Kamogon is in chat. You can maybe answer that. Maybe someone else has something. George, Arthur.
I wasn't directly involved in this, but I know Kamogon and Nid spent a lot of time
I think so.
converting attribute modifiers to the new 2.02 system. They had to go through every single armor buff and convert it so that it worked properly with the new 2.02 version.
Oh, and the snow trolls.
Snow trolls.
Yeah, snow trolls. Galadriel was a thing.
Oh yeah, Galadriel. Yeah, she went through quite a few changes.
Very successful now, I think.
Yeah,
very good stuff. Yeah. That was a big situation of like balance team and
that because that was the whole team. Yes, Galadriel was a very
and just compromising and coming up with something that works for everybody involved.
Because
it's all very, very adult, very, very mature stuff that we engage in. It's great.
Because we really wanted Galadriel to because there was a very big design thing. I'm sorry, I just want to touch on Galadriel because it was a big subject for a long time.
Yeah.
Because we always want because she's not like everyone wanted her to be this big nuking power thing that she because she was a fucking ring hero in BFME 2 or whatever. That's not who she was. Like she was the Lady of Lothlorien. She had that power, and that's why she had the Storm Queen. But anyways, stuff like that. We're trying to get that like balance between the two, and eventually like coming with the kit that she has now, like took a lot of work, and it was always something we wanted to do. We knew Galadriel was like lacking in departments, but we always knew like we wanted to have a Lothlorien revamp, which luckily it was able to happen. But once we got there,
still late. Yeah, that was going to be a 7.0 thing for a while.
It was going to be 7.0. Yeah, Lorien didn't happen too.
was not feasible. Yeah, just wasn't feasible with
Yeah.
the amount of stuff going on for that release.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They would have delayed, yeah, and then people.
Yeah, the Mumakil and the Scorpions, that was a thing. The Mumakil especially, that was another one of those like compromise
That was
things. Right?
important. Yeah,
Actually, that was more just us like hammering home the fact that you cannot have these so hard countered by pikes. You can't do it. You have to change their functionality around a little bit because they are such a core feature of a Rodwave. You cannot have these glass cannon nonsense things walking around anymore. We need to change this. We need to redesign how these things work, which we did. I don't know if people have gotten used to this yet because it's quite a big change. I love the Mumak.
Very happy with how they are. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, definitely.
That was just a matter of like turning that knob. But just keep turning it further, until you get to something that okay, this now it works. Just changing the numbers over and over. I'm a big believer, and you can balance literally anything because it's just a bunch of numbers. There's always going to be like an average, that you can get to that's fun and decent to use, and it's not overpowered. Thus far, I have not been wrong, so therefore I must be right at all times.
Oh God.
That's how that works.
Oh Jesus.
So it works.
That's how it works.
Makes sense.
Yeah. What was the biggest fun you've had in
The
making
biggest fun.
Biggest fun.
Biggest fun was almost getting doxxed. No, the biggest fun. I may have answered this question earlier. It was hanging out with the team. That's easily the best.
I've had so much fun.
Yes.
On this team.
Oh man, this time seeing a man just drink bleach on, a big in the middle of a
The longest times, at some point.
Yeah, playing games.
Learning about not bad, good size, like hearing about like all these Australians.
Going through the subgenre of Ombre Aranya videos.
Oh my God.
Not bad at all. Not bad.
Learning about Sopa de Macaco.
Yes.
All the various the Wambly anecdotes, that just unfold like before our eyes,
Yeah.
Like just out of fucking nowhere.
Yeah. That's been great.
Yeah, we have a great team. Fun group of guys.
Yeah.
Bunch of weirdos.
Yep.
Hey, speak for yourself. I'm totally a normie.
I am.
What are you talking about? I'm well adjusted.
Yeah.
Well adjusted.
I won.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Victory.
Yeah. Could you go into a bit more detail on how you designed the faction skeletons? Did you focus on coming up with a unique theme, then developing a spellbook, hero, and unit roster to support that theme, or is it a more iterative process where you adjusted the faction elements as you go? Both. Those are not mutually exclusive. So, I wrote a few faction plans where I would just think of things that are cool. Be like, this is cool. Like, and I'd always have like a little intro blurb, like this faction is gonna.
This
gonna
faction does
focus
this.
on
Yes, yes. And you've had that since Shadow and Flame too. Yeah, you've had that like forever. Yeah.
Yeah, the little like intro blurb just to summarize it, because then you
gotta have. We gotta have that. Yeah, like that was every time we.
Yeah, you gotta have some idea of like pros and cons of each faction. Like what do they focus on, and then you just start filling out the stuff. Like, all right, two barracks usually. You'll forge and then.
Well, what representation from the faction do we want to try to include? Like
yeah, what themes do we want to represent?
Yeah.
And then you write all that, and then you force all the poor people in your team to somehow make it work in terms of like coding and balancing.
Mm-hmm.
And then you occasionally listen to some feedback and change something.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you do it.
That's how you do it.
As a faction gets developed, like I said, I'm a firm believer in you can balance anything. So as a faction gets developed, and it becomes playable and like it's skeleton form, where not all art is going to be there. A lot of the sounds and effects are not going to be there, but you can play it, and then you'll start to notice gaps. And you're like, oh fuck, like we completely forgot about this. Because when I write those plans, I'm never thinking of any sort of competitive viability whatsoever.
Neither of us. Like when we would sit
writing shit. I'm just putting shit on the paper. Like, all right, this sounds cool.
All right, this sounds cool. What do I want? Like what have I always wanted in like this faction?
Yeah,
can we include it? Can we fit it somewhere? Some of those early things, like because I've been seeing a lot of questions like about like the silver trees recently. That was just because it was cool. They were a permanent unit because it was cool and we wanted to have it. But then we realized when we go to balance it, well, it's got to get axed because it's
can do. Yeah.
No can do.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Yeah.
That was where the Tomb Guard came from too, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And Unburied Whites, too.
Unburied Whites, Tomb Guard, and
Yep.
the Blighted Trappers. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Those are all units that were added to Doguldur when we realized they had gaps and we needed to write more stuff for them. Same with Herodwaith. Herodwaith had more thematic gaps than gameplay gaps.
The pavilion was a point of contention for all. There was a point where I think we were not going to scrap it, but we were very strongly considering what its place in the faction was, because its roster was very different to what it is now.
Yeah,
we just rewrote the whole thing.
You kind of rewrote it with the rest of the team.
Yeah.
Well, let's add a big ape, and then like
Ape, yeah,
and then a
Beast
bunch
I
of
Master.
remember exactly the moment that fucking thought entered my little brain. I was on the bus. I was talking to you on my phone in English, which is embarrassing because I'm not a native speaker. So it always feels like, oh, what's this guy doing? You know, in English and talking on the bus, and I'm like, and we're talking about this pavilion thing. We just need to make it more of like a more you know. We need more like exotic, like weird stuff in it. And okay, animals, you know. Oh, big ape, of course. Yeah, I just remember it so vividly when I thought of a gorilla first.
And
I'm like,
we're like,
I like orangutans much more than gorillas.
and I was like, yeah. I'm pretty sure I was just completely open to it. Yeah,
so cool. They're great. I love orangutans. So
amazing.
You know,
Yeah,
they're so great.
They're so cool.
Wonderful creatures. No, we have them. Yeah.
And guess what? It's Lord friendly. They reference apes in the books, motherfuckers.
Yes.
They reference them in the books, motherfuckers. Tolkien wrote it.
There's two references to apes in Lord of the Rings. One when orcs are described as having ape-like arms, and one where orcs climb up a ladder akin to the apes of the jungles of the Deep South.
I think orcs literally call each other apes.
Yeah,
call each other
Gorback, or one of those orcs in Kirathon.
Uruk calls like a Mordor orc an ape.
Yeah. So there you go. So yeah, things are definitely iterative. There's a lot of iteration going on in Woodland Realm as well, because I had a very clear idea that I wanted them to be a hit and run and sneaky and glass cannony for their basic units and the Sylvan units. And we're playing it, and the ideas that were in the plan were largely implemented. And I was playing it, I'm like, this doesn't feel like what I want. I want it to be more glass cannony. So I just remember saying, no, we just need to, dial it up.
Up it up, yeah. The Sylvans. I remember that moment too. I remember when we got to that point because it
was two things. It was the Sylvans, but it was also realizing that the faction itself could use more powers or spells that added to the theme. So we rewrote a bunch of things. That's how we came up with the teleportation, Waystone power,
Elven King, the whole Elven Kings line, basically. Like teleporting feast, being able to make it teleport. I don't know. I don't think because we were gonna have a feast, but I don't think originally it was gonna teleport.
No.
I think it was just gonna be. I think it was just gonna be a permanent structure, and then
yeah.
Great.
So yeah, iterative.
Really good ideas.
We just jot down a bunch of cool ideas, and then we're like, all right, well, now I have to make it, and now it's gotta work somehow. Next question: did you buy any programs for coding? Do you use free software? Generally, you don't buy programs for coding. It's just, as far as I'm aware, you can code anything. Any programming language, you can just buy the tool set.
If you really want to.
What's that?
You can just do it through Notepad if you want to, coding.
Yeah,
I do it.
Well,
Notepad++. Yeah, I do it through Notepad++, but you could do it through just Notepad.
Yeah, I do it Notepad++.
Yeah. Of course you do. Come on, you got it.
I use Visual Studio.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can do everything for free. And if you need, anyway, I shouldn't go into that. How many units are hidden in the War of the Ring that cannot be found in skirmish mode?
I think about over 10. Because some of the special units, some of the in-specific units.
Yeah.
Over 10? Probably about 10 to 15.
Let's see. There were some questions in the stream as well that I completely missed.
Yeah.
I think we answered the backlash question.
Yeah, we did.
Return of the King no longer thing. Oh yeah. On that note, Arthur, we told him the truth, and that is the fact that we're not developing Return of the King. So.
Okay. Yeah. It's a sad truth.
The sad truth.
For them, of course.
Yeah, for me, it's honestly pretty good.
Yep.
What games or media do you look forward to play or see in the future? Nothing. Everything sucks. No, I don't know. Fuck. I'm sure you guys can answer that.
Wasn't there? Was there new games coming out? I mean, shit.
What Lord of the Rings media was the question?
Or just any media? I guess just any
Any
media.
media.
I mean, I don't know.
Shit.
Soccer
I guess
too.
we're just focusing on Lord of the Rings media because.
Well, there's nothing for Lord of the Rings
broad.
though. There's nothing
Last
for Lord
was
of the Rings.
season 2, I suppose. I enjoyed season 1.
Yeah,
I
sure.
guess.
Yeah, I'll watch it.
Huh.
More White Lotus, you know, more White Lotus TV.
Yeah,
I don't know of any really.
Nothing like
Yeah, really good. I don't know of any movies that I'm really interested to go seeing right now. I haven't really
Yeah.
seen anything.
I saw Everything Everywhere All at Once in the theater. That was really good. I enjoyed that a lot.
Oh, I look forward to Andor season 2. Really look
Hell
forward to
yeah,
that.
I look
Watched
forward to that.
all of Andor
Yeah.
season 1 in like a night, and I fucking loved it. I absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
It sucks
that
as
was
Star
great.
Wars. Anyways.
Yeah, I know. I look forward to I look forward to the Gollum game. I look forward to that a lot. It looks really cool. I'm gonna buy that on Switch and play it.
I'm kind of skeptical now about looking forward to games. Sons of the Forest was a bit of a burn in terms of hardware, and then watching you guys play, I wasn't too impressed.
Yeah.
So
you gotta be careful.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to things.
My hype for games is now dampened quite significantly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I'm not a
forward
big fandom guy, so I don't know.
I'm looking forward to Elden Ring DLC whenever that comes out.
Yeah, there's that. Give me that.
I just started my 3rd playthrough.
Cal's been playing so much. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's left Valheim again.
I know, motherfucker.
All right, I'm sure there's more questions.
Let channel with stupid questions ever be released to the public. The art gallery.
No.
I don't think that's a good idea.
Oh, right, that's a good idea.
Keep it secret.
I
Keep it safe.
think it's a very bad
You might find
idea.
yourself in it.
Yeah.
Take no prisoners in that channel.
What a cool fucking unit, the Horn.
Yeah.
How much ag was that getting this into the mod?
I think that was Arthur, Kyle, and myself working on that.
Yeah.
I did a good bit of the coding on it.
Did you?
Yeah, I did the animation coding. I did the first half of it.
You Chad.
Right.
God, yeah, this thing, man, it was fun. I mean, it was hard, but honestly, I did enjoy it because seeing it in game, like once we finally got it working, it was like, oh my god.
Yeah,
we got the tree. Oh my god, brother, we got the big fucking tree. And yeah, it was just working. Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah, that's a.
I won't dismiss you.
No, but dismiss you. Oh my god, you alright? Questions too. Yeah, I'm looking
Out of the 8.0 release, what changes or additions are you most happy with? That's a kind of an interesting question. Just because it's more specific to 8.0. God.
Guess everyone can answer that. Yeah, each of us.
Still very difficult because there's so much in it, of course.
Yeah. I mean, fairly base answer. I mean, Herodwaith. Very happy with how that turned out as a faction.
Mm-hmm.
Enormous faction, very sprawling, but I think we nailed it really well. Very unique to other mods' interpretations of that culture, and it's fun. I really enjoy playing it.
For me, it's clearly a Harad with, but what I also really like in terms of, giving the people what they want is I really like the swift addition of the adventure factions, and now Age of the Ring is complete. Now it has everything you could possibly want, quite frankly, and you can just shut up now and just play it. We even have a generator which you can use to create more.
Oh my god. That map generator has been our saving grace in so many ways. I never knew how many, it just solved so many, people's issues. We could just say, hey, just go run that. And we didn't have to do a fucking guide to make the adventure maps anymore.
Oh.
Yeah. So thank you, Jarian. Thank you.
Thank you, Jarian.
Thank you,
Thank you very much, Jarian.
Thank you so much.
Hey, thanks, mate.
We love you, Jarian.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jarian.
He's a handsome guy.
Yeah. Remember to expect each and every barrel.
I think for me, it would be finally is making sure that I got those new Athelian Rangers into the game, because they needed to be redone, and I'm glad I got them done. Because that was one of the last models. Actually, it would be getting the Council Aragorn in at the last minute. And the last sound that I added into Age of the Ring after my hard drive died. Sorry, I had to add a few onto there, because that one, I was very proud that I was the finish. Because I quickly downloaded Audacity, right before we finished. The release.
It was a day or the day before, I think.
It was the day before. It was the day before release. I'm like, I got this is the last thing. I wanted to do it on Sunday, but then the hard drive died that night before, and then I got it in. So I'm happy that got in before everything, before everything died.
This is I haven't answered yet. Go ahead. Sorry. Anybody else wants to say something about that question? Favorites. It's always favorites,
I just came back. What happened?
What's your favorite thing in 8.0?
Bro, I played 8.0 3 times. I don't know.
Fair enough.
Getting War of the Ring in was really nice. Revamping that whole thing.
Just period. Just getting it in period.
Yeah.
That was it's a bit of a source of anxiety for a while. I wasn't sure if we could get that done.
Yeah,
it sure was.
Yeah.
But
oh man,
it's great now. How big it is.
Oh yeah.
All the spread of maps, and also those last scenarios that got thrown in the last few weeks.
I don't know.
It's really good.
Thank you, Kamogon.
Really great.
Yeah. The thing that was scary about War of the Ring is that whenever there was a bug in World of the Ring, it was like a big bug. It was not subtle. Whenever there was some, and usually the fix was fairly simple, but whenever something went wrong, it went really wrong, and it was just I don't know. I had some nerves about it, but it really came together in the end.
Yeah.
Nosy asked a question in stream chat. What is something, if anything, that you improved at or focused on as lead developers to better improve the end result? I know I was always learning to better formulate my observations and feedback as a tester. For me, this goes back to something that I've talked about earlier in the stream. It's getting the framework set up, getting the goals laid out, getting the tasks divided, getting the people on board, and not underestimating that part of it.
Yeah.
Because I've underestimated that significantly in the past, and it has cost me some sleepless nights in previous projects.
Yeah. Organization. Just having all the dev docs and all the development plans, having that.
Organization, having standards from which you don't really deviate.
Stick to them. Yeah.
If you can't do something right, then don't do it. Which is why we were so late with Bearform Grimbjorn in Woollen Realm.
Yeah, because we
extra mile.
That was extra mile, Andy.
Pandemonium, go fuck yourself.
Oh, that's fired.
Yeah.
I guess we're getting into that part of the stream now.
Try some more.
Some more.
So that's it for me. It's just something that I chronically underestimated or neglected because of social anxiety in the past. You know, makes it difficult. I find it hard to talk to people sometimes, especially when it's about, you know, why haven't you done this, or this is not good, or change this. You know, all of these kinds of subjects are very difficult.
Yeah.
For me, because I always think everybody takes everything personally. You know, I'm scared of that stuff. But you know, I learned how to sort of do that a little bit here and there. Not a lot, because it wasn't, you know, very necessary a lot of the time. But you know, yeah, that's my answer to that. I don't know if anybody else has an answer to that, but it's a complex question.
Yeah, I would say mine's about the same. Yeah, just learning just learning the whole process, you know, like getting like the whole organization, like I brought up before, just the planning, how important that is, because, you know, I mean, we had planning in Shadow and Flame, but nowhere near to the level that we were getting in Age of the Ring. I mean, faction plans.
You had faction plans.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, faction plans.
That's right.
But yeah, just getting everything organized, you know. Yeah. Working a pipeline, just know like how like just knowing what needs to get done, and then the planning out, like just setting time aside a day, make sure you get something done.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's knowing your limits, being able to communicate what you can and can't do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and not putting up a brick wall with it either. Trying to then offer alternatives to it, so that progress isn't completely stalled because of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Communication is key.
Yeah.
I think I got pretty good at being able to sort of manage the other members of the team, sort of the other mappers, and knowing sort of how to delegate or what to delegate or what you just needed to do yourself. And also when it comes to sort of creative things, there's always like a level of trust that you have to give, that maybe you know you can do something well, but you need to also let people try and sometimes fail and learn as well and improve, and then by the end of it they're sort of, you know, everyone's pulling together. So trying to discern that is a bit of a skill, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's one of the biggest challenges for me. Communication is just difficult.
Yeah.
So I'm so glad that we finally moved to, you know, I mean, for you the time zone is a bit difficult, but Kyle and I speak about this project basically every day, which has been incredibly helpful, because in the past, you know, I mean, there was voice chat in the past, we just didn't do that. So everything relied on private messages or Amazon Messenger or even Facebook Messenger, Skype messages, you know. And it's just very hard to plan stuff if you never speak to somebody. It's so much easier when you just talk.
Yep.
To people. I cannot imagine doing a project like this and not being in voice chats at least a couple times a week and just getting it sorted and on track. And just, you know, in terms of team building as well, which is a terrible word, but it is a thing.
No, definitely.
Yeah, it's good to get to know people and have fun with people, and not just be like, hey, when model, when map, you know. That. So, is there any other questions? I'm sure there are. What are the Age of the Ring team going to do individually now? Focus on their own career or keep up the modding? Any neat plans? God. I don't know. It's just such a massive void in my life now.
I mean, we talked about this earlier on the stream. I'm a creative person, have been, so I'm just gonna make more stuff, but it's not gonna be in the BFME community. And yeah, that's all. I'm sure. I mean, focus on my career, hopefully as an author, but no, that's about it. I'm not much of a career guy, I'm afraid. It's not really for me. Yeah, I bought a house. I'm gonna have fun decorating, which I actually honestly enjoy doing quite a lot. I like interior decorating.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. I mean, we've all answered this question, so.
Yeah.
Are you going to do gaming streams now and then? It's fun hearing you guys do banter and stuff. I mean, it's unlikely that we're all going to be in these gaming streams. But I know Kyle wants to do that, and I have too much going on, at least not at the moment. So, yeah, probably will do if people want that. I mean,
Cheeky banter in it.
Yeah, I mean we've already talked
Hello, I'm
about.
back. What are we talking about? Sorry, I had to step away.
Oh, about whether or not we were going to do gaming streams.
Yes, we will. I'm probably going to stream some Vermintide when the new patch comes out. I haven't told you guys yet. You don't have to join, Matthias, don't worry.
Oh, thank God.
But I'll be streaming it most likely.
I thought it was contractually.
No, you don't. You can just hang out if you want while I play and stream.
Yeah.
So yeah.
We're gonna stream Valheim when the next patch is out for sure.
Definitely, we'll stream Valheim. We'll stream whatever. If people want to see gaming streams, sure, I'll do some gaming streams.
And we were gonna play video games anyway, so we might as well do it like that, I guess.
Sure.
Will you guys take any interest in? Oh, whoops! I just think I scrolled too far. Will you guys take any interest in upcoming BFME mods like the Elder Scrolls mod?
I'm very interested in that mod.
Yeah, for sure.
I think it's a great mod.
We have some overviews of it on our YouTube channel.
Yeah, we reviewed it. The release that they did. Yeah.
We streamed it, yeah. No, we didn't.
So,
it's good.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, other than that, I'm not very interested. In BFME modding or BFME mods. Probably play Age of the Ring sometimes, I guess. Other than that, no. I've seen everything.
Yeah.
There's to see. How likely is it, in your opinion,
Retread
that
those 20 years.
What's that?
Retread those 20 years all over again, boys. Keep going. Keep trucking.
Yeah, it's all done.
Mm-hmm.
How likely is it, in your opinion, that Open Sage will happen? And if it does, would you try to make Age of the Ring compatible for it? At this point, I mean, I don't think Open Sage is very likely. Their development sadly seems to have mostly stalled. Which is not, I'm not blaming them for anything. They're volunteers. They're not obligated to do anything. But from what I've noticed, it's mostly stalled. I'm no longer in that Discord server because nothing happened. And I like to keep my Discord server list very short, so I left it. Because otherwise I have this anxiety thing where I have to check it. If I'm in it, I gotta check it. I can't stop myself, so I just leave it.
FOMO. It's FOMO, dude.
FOMO.
I guess. But if it does happen, will you try to make Age of the Ring compatible for it? No. Because if it happens, we wouldn't have to make it compatible for it. It should already work. Because that's the point of Open Sage. We wouldn't have to do that.
Like all those Morrowind mods working on Open Morrowind. Yeah. Hopefully that'll be the way it goes. It should be the way it goes.
That's the last question, right? That's the end of the stream. Bye!
Oh my god.
Hey, Cal.
Hello.
Hey.
Oh, hi, Cal.
I made it.
You made it. Here at the end of the stream and all things.
Yep. Including the stream.
including just, well, again, I mean, I don't mind hanging around. But I guess we should say, like, maybe we should end the stream, and if we want to restart and keep talking for a bit, we can. But I would like to end it, and so I can put it on YouTube, and without it being 6 hours.
Let me win.
Let you win.
Let me win.
Okay.
I think that's a good idea.
I came at the perfect time.
Let me win.
I'll do it.
You can do it.
Hey, my friends.
Yeah, they say ain't shit. Oh wait, sorry. I'm kidding.
What's that?
I said this AI ain't shit.
That's how you get black irked.
So, who's your favorite Lord of the Rings character, chat? One last time.
My favorite is Sunfac.
Who?
Excuse me.
Sunfac. Yeah, Sunfac is my favorite Lord of the Rings character.
Fuck's that?
What kind of new Notion Club bullshit is this?
You know, he's got wings. He's a bug.
I like Azog the Lesser.
He's from Geonosis.
Oh boy.
I like Bold the Fat.
I hate you, Cal.
You're welcome.
Not really.
You know, he lives in the plains of Gorgoroth.
Oh yeah.
In Geonosis.
Yeah. Don't you know that that's how Mordor was made?
Mordor?
Yeah. By Geonosians.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought some Uruk caused a volcano to erupt, and then it changed from the Southlands.
Alright, this stream is now just gone completely fucking downhill. Thanks, Cal.
Thanks, Cal.
Let's fucking talk about Geonosis.
It's what I do best.
Jesus.
Gotta throw things off, you know.
Oh my god.
Apparently.
No!
So yeah, I mean, it feels weird being done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Age of the Ring 2 when?
Never.
Never ever.
Nah.
About 15 years from now.
What did I say before the start of the stream? What was it?
Once it's dead.
I was talking about.
Then you bring it back and you make it really underwhelming and make no one want to play it, so it just goes back to play the original to really, reinvigorate everyone.
I said, what did I say? Like, you're gonna be 50, and someone was gonna like contact you or something.
Time to get back in.
Yeah.
Ask me about the Return of the King campaign.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm 49 now, so probably happen soon.
You're a sprightly 49 though.
Oh yes.
A young 49.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like quite a few years younger. Yeah.
Oh look, it's a hidden unit.
Wow, it's hidden. Is it hidden?
Oh yeah, that is a hidden unit.
Yep. The Piler as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a small roster of Darwinian units now for anyone who wants to, have more of Darwinian. Now you can have it. You have ranged units. They even have custom voices. What did you wish we added to Agent Ring that we didn't end up adding that is not the Return of the King campaign?
Are you asking the chat?
No, I'm asking, well, I guess so. But I was actually asking you. But chat can answer if they want to.
Phil Mazog. No.
Oh boy. Okay.
What a heavy load.
Erebor captains, because I wanted them in a
Oh.
vision, so.
That's true, yeah. Yeah.
Had nothing known.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, would have been cool.
Yeah. Oh well.
Oh well.
Morgulage, says Kamugan.
Oh god.
A classic.
First age content, but we do not deserve more, so that's correct. That's correct.
Oh my god.
You do not.
At least he's honest.
You get it. You get it now, huh?
You understand?
Only now, at the end, do you understand?
Oh, the prequel memes over the years.
But that's original. That's original trilogy.
That is OT,
Tourist.
but you know, just fine. Star Wars memes, whatever.
I love Star Wars.
Yeah. It's your... What was your favorite part?
You just broke
McClunky?
him?
You know, when that dude got chucked out the window.
The window. My store was dark. Oh, yeah.
All right. Sorry. Yeah, I mean you have to win the game now because this is going on for too long.
Yeah, I'm winning.
Yeah, get him. Beat their ass.
Get him.
Get him.
Unique faction ships. Cool thing, but a lot of work.
Yeah.
Rohirric long ship, you know. And then it stops there, you know, like what do you do for everything else?
Yep. Yeah. Exactly.
You know, what do you do for everything else after?
Gondorian trireme, I guess.
Yeah.
But that doesn't really fit either because Gondor is not. It's more like a Middle Ages thing. It's not Mediterranean world.
A lot of these factions are landlocked too. Like,
yeah,
they got like access to like rivers, but like, don't really think of like Rohan having a navy.
Actually, what I think we should do.
Horsehead ship.
What?
I said horsehead ship.
Horsehead ship. Yeah.
Horsehead
Yeah.
trireme.
Well, once Ram's done, of course.
Next release, we'll put a horse head on it. That's still gonna be in. I love that. That's still in the mod. I love that so much.
Can I say something, by the way?
Go ahead.
I kind of want to end the stream and then not start another one. If that's okay.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, we could always stream tomorrow if you want to stream. You know, fine with me.
Yeah. No, this is.
I kind of want to just talk for a little bit of a second about something else. So, yeah. And I'm also kind of done filtering myself for an audience. If I'm honest. That gets a little bit
Oh,
tiring.
yeah, I came in here to end it, and you're still carrying on. So I don't know.
Yeah,
The rebuilding.
brave, right?
The rebuilding.
Here you go. Other hidden units.
Right, maybe it's time for us to
Auxiliaries.
say something that just gets us banned off Twitch for real.
Excellent. We have victory. No, we don't have to get banned or anything.
Jeff Bezos
We're
sucks.
good.
There you go.
Yeah.
Jeffrey Bezos.
All right. Thanks everybody for watching. I mean, this is not the last stream we're going to do, but you know, it is the last Age of Ring development stream that we're ever going to do. I mean, thanks everybody for your support over the years. Overall, you know, it's been a really great experience for me. So, you know, thanks. I'm going to just, you know, drop the mic and say Age of Ring out.
AOTR out.
Bye.
Later.